Toyota of Somerset, we're known for great service before and after the sale and so much more. Since 1988, Toyota of Somerset has been supporting our local communities. And we sell and service what a number of different rating services call the most fuel-efficient, dependable, and safe vehicles on the road. Toyota. Toyota of Somerset, South Highway 27 Somerset, and online at toyotaofsomerset.com. At Toyota of Somerset, we're all about you.
Here to come in 175 here to come in 175 too. I 200 down got it here to come in a quarter.
Like successful sports programs, putting together a successful auction takes a lot of planning, organization, attention to detail, and teamwork. And you need dedicated and committed people pulling together. At Ford Brothers Auctioneers, we've been successfully selling the country since 1965. Ford Brothers Auctioneers. Give us a call or visit us online at FordBrothersInc.com.
Ford Brothers Auctioneers, we're selling the country.
And good evening, everyone, and welcome to PC Stadium, where tonight Lake Cumberland Sports is proud to bring you should be, he tried to say, a great high school football matchup. Toyota of Somerset is proud to sponsor our games, and along with our presenting sponsor, Ford Brothers Auctioneers. He's Chris, I'm Mike. We're about 30 minutes away from kickoff here in Woodford County. Has come all the way from California to play for this game tonight, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Pulaski County and Woodford County, two pretty good 5A football teams for an early season matchup, and around the state, there's some interest in this one, Chris.
There really is. I mean, both these teams, they've only played each other twice in the past history, and Woodford County has won both of those games. And coming into this one, it would be a big head turner if Coach Burns was to come away with his second home victory and beat Woodford County tonight.
Yeah, last week's game, and you're probably aware of that if you're watching us. The game against Corbin was not played because of the shooter over on 75. They've got all that straightened out now, thank goodness. But so Pulaski's had an off week.
Much earlier in the season than they'd planned.
Absolutely. And, off weeks have pluses and minuses, but Coach Burns said his team was in good physical shape. Usually that's what an off week does, gives you a chance to get well. They were well.
And they've not had any injuries. They've been
very
bit
fortunate
by the injury bug this year. And so being able to have the little scrapes and nicks and bruises and little things like that and have an off week this early in the season allows you, one, a little extra time to get well, and two, a little extra time to prepare for this Woodford County offensive attack that right now are putting up some big numbers.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get that.
It's awful early for me to lose you. The other thing is, where Pulaski was at home last Friday night, Woodford County was running around in Southern California to play a high school football game, which sounds a bit strange, but it was a home and home. They played last year at Woodford County, and it was a thing set up by I don't know if they're a nonprofit, but it was some sort of group, and it was to give these kids a chance to experience. And Woodford County took care of business last year against that bunch, and then they went out there the other night. And you and I have seen some stats, and we learned a long time ago what stats do to you.
Right.
They'll get you in big trouble, but they seem to have dominated that football game last Friday night.
They really did, and they're on the year, and they've played some pretty good competition.
They do.
What we obviously know nothing about the team in California. I have heard through the grapevine that they are one of the better teams in California, and Woodford went out there and dominated.
Mm-hmm.
And right now they are outscoring teams by 28 points a game, I believe it is. They're scoring about 35, and only giving up 7. So you do the math. So Pulaski's going to have their hands full. You'd love to see Coach Burns and his team get the running game going early on and control the tempo, control the clock, and not have to play catch-up.
I think if you play catch-up against Woodford, you're going to see the whole playbook. If you fall behind to this bunch, you're going to see they have some athletes, they have some speed, and we saw it last year. They run a lot of formation that a lot of things look alike until the play develops. And Coach Burns, I asked him what he thought, and he said, I think they're going to line up and attack us. And he said, we're going to line up and see if we can't just keep them from getting the football a whole lot. So same game plan almost as 2 weeks ago against George Rogers Clark is take care of the football, put points on the board, and you ask your defense to keep them in front of you, because we saw the speed last year. They've got a couple guys that can beat you over the top.
Right. You're looking live. We are the video game of the week this week. If you know somebody that's not able to come out tonight, it's going to end up being a beautiful night for football. It's been hot all day. It's going to cool off before kickoff here and be great by the time this one's over. Next week, we will be at Somerset High School. Well, Lincoln comes to play them, and that will be your video game of the week. Be sure to watch Wings and Rings Video Game of the Week on Lake Cumberland Sports. Our next video broadcast is next Friday night over at Somerset High School, or Wings and Rings. Wings created your way, always fresh, never frozen burgers. Now, you got a chance to talk to Coach Burns a little bit this week. He's been very busy, didn't get a chance to do a coach's show, but talking to him, and we kind of alluded to a couple little things here and there. What does Pulaski have to do? What's the keys of the game, Mike? The Wise Cabinet's keys of the game for them to come away with the victory?
I think Coach Burns is he's a breath of fresh air to sit and talk to, because I said, how are you health-wise? He said, no excuses, we're healthy. You know, he didn't go into any, well, I've got a guy with none of that. And then he looked at me and I said, well, how are you going to play against this bunch? He said, well, you've got to keep them from making big plays against you, but you got to keep them from owning the football. He said, so we're going to come out just as we've done. We're going to spread out our offense, and we're going to show them everything that we're going to try to do. And he said, what they stop, we'll try to do something else. Right. And I like the fact that he says his defense has played very well so far. He thinks his running game has not even been exploited yet. He thinks there's stuff in the run game that's still there. And he's very pleased with his quarterback play and his receiver play. That'll come in big. You and I think, discussed this off the air. I think I said something to you. Last year, Denmeyer had over 200 yards receiving against this
big
bunch.
Game.
If Denmeyer goes for 200 tonight, one of two things is going on. Pulaski's falling behind badly and giving up the run game, and I don't think that'll happen. Or they've established the run game to the point to where they're trying to play Denmeyer straight up.
Right.
Either way it goes, if he has a big game, I believe Pulaski is going to come out on top.
So with that is your Whitest Cabinets keys to the game. You need new cabinets? The key is Whitest Cabinets. We value your business, offering friendly service and reliable products. Let our design experts turn your vision into reality. Visit us today at South 27 and Slate Branch Road. Whitest Cabinets, the key to your dream home. And as you're looking on, we're about 22 minutes away from kickoff. I'm going to go ahead and just give you what we expect to be the starting lineups tonight. And go ahead and get that out of the way for Coach Burns' defense. He looks to run out the same 11. They've had a lot of success so far on the season, and they will have at one cornerback a freshman in Will Adams, Broderick Finley at one defensive end, Brody Johnson at the nose guard, Bryston Brown at the 3 technique, defensive tackle, Colton Kane at the other defensive end. They call it the rebel around here. Boone Godby will be at right corner. Your linebackers, who are having a really good year themselves, will be Braden Ping at the weak side linebacker, Gunnar Lovelace at the middle linebacker, Ethan Idlewine at the strong side or Sam linebacker, and your safeties will be Cohen Finley and Kason Brock. Offensively, again, not much change that we're aware of. They'll come out in a 3 or 4 wide set. Times they'll run a 2 wide set. They'll run a heavy package. They'll do different things. But their base formation will find Cohen Finley at a receiver, Ethan Idlewine in the slot, tight end, running back. You'll see him and hear his name all night long. Zach Anderson at quarterback. Kason Brock will open as your running back, and Winston Ford will get some run back there in the backfield, who's had a good job giving Kason a little bit of a break. Boone Godby, a receiver. Harris Denmeyer, who you mentioned had the big game last year and needs to repeat that to be, or like you said, the running game doing well. Decker Wilden will be at a tight end most of the time during the night. Across the front line, 5 offensive linemen that most people don't pay a whole lot of attention to. They go unnoticed. Big uglies, Keith Jackson used
One
to call
of the
them.
best big uglies bunch, too, that's around.
Right, and they're going to start off with a sophomore Brady Hull, Connor Blevins at left guard, Mason Hall at center, Bryson Brown at right guard, and Camden Denham at right tackle. And that is your C.V. Hansford starting lineups for tonight. C.V. Hansford of Weichert Realtors Ford Brothers, a person you can trust when you're looking to sell your farm or commercial property. C.V.'s experience as a successful realtor, business person, and farmer is invaluable when it comes to knowing how to get the most for your property, all the while helping you through a seamless and enjoyable transaction. For more information, give C.V. a call at 606-219-3274. That's C.V. Hansford at Weichert Realtors Ford Brothers. And, Michael, we are, I believe we're going to step out here at 7:10. We're going to take just a little bit of break. We come back, we'll do a little bit more pregame before the anthem and kickoff. We'll be back after this.
Toyota of Somerset, we're known for great service before and after the sale and so much more. Since 1988, Toyota of Somerset has been supporting our local communities. And we sell and service what a number of different rating services call the most fuel-efficient, dependable, and safe vehicles on the road. Toyota. Toyota of Somerset, South Highway 27 Somerset, and online at toyotaofsomerset.com. At Toyota of Somerset, we're all about
Here to come in 17500, here to come in 175.2. I 200 down, down, got it here to come in a quarter.
Like successful sports programs, putting together a successful auction takes a lot of planning, organization, attention to detail, and teamwork. And you need dedicated and committed. At Ford Brothers Auctioneers, we've been successfully selling the country since 1965. Ford Brothers Auctioneers. Give us a call or visit us online at FordBrothersInc.com.
Ford Brothers Auctioneers, we're selling the country.
Let us show you the strength that comes by making every moment count. We're here to help. Hospice of Lake Cumberland. Let us show you the strength that comes by making every moment count. We're here to help. Hospice of Lake
Best
Cumberland.
things in life never change. They just get better, like Hardee's Original Bag. Back and better than ever. Just $5.99. Mix and match any two full-size favorites. A juicy charbroiled double cheeseburger, melty hot ham and cheese sandwich, or crispy hand-breaded chicken tender wrap. Any two plus fries and a drink, all just $5.99. Hardee's Original Bag. Loaded with handcrafted goodness. It's the greatest meal deal for your buck.
And welcome back to PC Field. We're 18 minutes and change away from getting this one started. A couple things to throw into the mix. It's homecoming. What does that mean? Well, it means they'll have a homecoming queen in the court, and people will come from back that haven't been here in years, and we'll celebrate. But what it means is we'll have a long halftime. Halftime will be extended to 20 minutes plus the 3 minutes on the clock, so a little longer halftime. And we understand there's going to be a presentation
Of
just
some
before
sorts.
kickoff tonight, but they didn't bother to tell us exactly what it is, so we'll learn as you do what's going on. One thing that Coach Burns told me that I forgot when we were talking about the keys to the game, he said, they like to throw the ball over the top. He said, I watched some film on them last year and a little different look, but he said they like to turn Wurtzler loose and let him throw it deep. So they use 3 different kids at quarterback. We haven't seen them play, so we don't have a clue. But Wurtzler appears to be the one they let throw it down the field.
Well, and so might as well go ahead and get into a little bit of a breakdown of the game and some stats and things like that. We've got some time here before our next break. Woodford County comes into the season 4-0. They are averaging 42.5, I said 35, 42.5 games on offense. They're only allowing 7. So a 35-point differential is you're going to win a lot of games with that.
Really?
They are averaging 136 yards on the ground. They are only allowing 49 yards per game.
That's a huge number right there.
That is, because what's Seto's saying, the immovable object meets the something force or whatever. And you've got a Pulaski County team that has rushed the ball very well this year and wants to run the football.
And remember, their stats are 3 games, not 4 games.
Right. And you talked about their passing preference or look to do that. Yeah, they're throwing 182 yards per game, but they've been blowing everybody out. So they've not had to throw for 4 quarters. And they're only allowing 114 yards per game. And as you mentioned, you're going to hear Justice Wursler. We expect to be the starter at quarterback for them. He's 27 for 49 on the season, 582 yards, 5 touchdowns. And then Wyatt Crow will be their leading rusher. And then listen for and keep your name out. They've got a linebacker that is in the tops in the state, Mike, in tackles, in Wyatt Crow. And he's Davion Sturgis. I was looking at running back Sturgis. And we saw him and heard about him last year. He's a senior, runs the defense for Coach Johnson, and he will be a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, another thing that I'll throw in there that just came across my mind again as we were looking at stats, they've recovered 11 fumbles.
Yes.
Not caused 11 fumbles. They have recovered 11 fumbles. If you're Pulaski County, that's got to be a stat that just jumps out at you because fumbles typically lead to field position, which lead to points. That's almost a given. But, again, you got to take care of business there. And the other thing that, having seen them come out, there is a huge number of players made the trip tonight from Woodford County.
78, I believe, is what I had on my roster. Yeah, and there's 2 of them that are injured.
And Pulaski's in the high 40s maybe of total players available. Woodford County, you're probably familiar. Dennis Johnson's the head coach up there. Dennis Johnson's name has been around Kentucky high school and professional or at least UK football. His dad, Alvis Johnson, just passed away last year. Everybody knew Coach Johnson, but Coach Dennis Johnson and his brothers, they played at Harrodsburg back when they didn't have any rules about how old you had to be to play high school football, and they literally played as 6th graders in varsity competition. And that rule is known as the Dennis Johnson rule because of the fact that they finally said it might not be good to let that 6th grader get out here and beat up on these older guys. No, I'm saying that facetiously. He was man enough to play the position. So anyway, that name is well known, and this game's got statewide interest. I've already had a couple people call me and ask if it'd be all right if they call us tonight and talk to us a little bit after the game and get our feel. And this was one of those that I'm going to ask you a simple question. Is it good for Pulaski that they didn't have to play a really good Corbin football team on the road last week and the outcome of that unknown? Or is it not good that they had to take a week off and face this?
Well, so my take on it, I would have rather played. Just simply because, you're 2 weeks, 3 weeks into the season. You don't expect or look for a break this early to keep the momentum going. You had a big win against George Rogers Clark the last time we saw this club on this field, and you don't get to build on that momentum. Now, with that being said, Corbin's got a pretty good football team. Don't know how that outcome would have played out, but the benefit to it, as we talked a little bit off air before the game, is that you've had 2 weeks to heal up what little ailments you had. Again, we don't know of any injured players for the Maroons. And you also have 2 weeks to prepare for this Woodford County team. So you can go differently. I'm leaning towards that it's a good thing.
I just say that because there's some things you can't control. Most coaches will tell you we control what we can control. That goes all the way to Nick Saban.
Right.
You take the things that you can control and you control them. Everything else is outside of your, and that game being canceled for the freak situation that went on, you can't plan for that. I would say this, if you're a head coach, you're faced with do you woe is me, why me, why did it have to happen to us, or you just say, okay, for a reason, I don't know what it is, we're not playing Friday night, but we're going to be ready in 2 weeks.
We talked about Woodford's stats, and we gave you some information on them. Real quick before we go to a break and have the national anthem, the Maroons come in 2-1 on the season. Again, have only played 3 games versus 4, but they're averaging 39 points a game.
Against 41.
They are allowing 19 against 7. They have given 197 yards rushing per game while only allowing 81. So if you heard what I said earlier, Woodford County is only allowing less than 100 yards, and PC is averaging 197. So something's got to give one way or the other.
Denmar's only been Brock's only been getting about 16, 17 carries a game. He's got 341 yards in 3 games. His stats will be bigger than that tonight. They're going to give him the football, and I look for Idlewild to see the football a little more tonight just because of his size.
Right. And then you look at Zach Anderson, who's having a very efficient year.
He is.
And he's 205 yards a game, 124 allowed a game, 33 for 46, 3 interceptions. So we are going to step away. They're going to do the national anthem. We're going to pay some bills. When we come back, we'll be about 10 minutes away or 5 minutes away from kickoff.
I feel like it's important that we teach our kids about financials, about budgeting, and about savings. We offer an e-student checking account and a GPA savings account. I immediately opened up both for my daughter. She has a debit card, which I am able to turn on and off with our mobile app because I'm also on the account. She has become more mindful of her spending, which is something that we want to teach her, is to be a mindful spender and to save as much as she can.
It's a great time to get your new F-150 at Alton Blakely Ford. The Ford F-150 redefines working remotely. There's a desk inside the cab, a tailgate work surface out back, and available Pro Power onboard to plug in what you need. Tough this smart can only be called F-150. And right now, get a no-charge leather package upgrade on every purchase of an F-150 XLT at Alton Blakely Ford.
In the real world, we've spent too much time waiting around and wondering if we'll ever get to be what we really want to be. Now it's time to move forward, and with a little help from Somerset Community College, you can finish that degree or start a whole new life as an IT VIP, a healthcare hero, and more in less time and for less money than you think. The time is now. The place is here. Never underestimate you.
Let us show you the strength that comes by making every moment count. We're here to help. Hospice of Lake Cumberland. Let us show you the strength that comes by making every moment count. We're here to help. Hospice of Lake Cumberland.
And welcome back to PC High School. We're 7 minutes and so away from tonight's game, and if you're coming, I'm going to suggest you come on. Thank you. There's a few people here tonight. Matter of fact, there's a heck of a crowd on the Pulaski side. Woodford County representing. They brought quite a few people with them, and we talked earlier with Coach Burns, and he mentioned we talked about injuries. I'm going to give you the Lake Cumberland Orthopedic Sports Medicine injury report. None to report from the Pulaski County sidelines.
I like those.
Dr. Jesse Pace, Dr. Patrick Jenkins of Lake Cumberland Orthopedics, sports medicine for athletes of all levels, from the weekend warrior to the professional. At Lake Cumberland Orthopedics, our goal is to get each patient back to the highest level of physical activity possible. We're proud to sponsor local athletics by serving as team physicians for Lindsey Wilson College, Southwestern, Somerset, Pulaski, and Wayne County High Schools, and other athletes throughout the Lake Cumberland region. Our thanks to the good folks at Lake Cumberland Orthopedics. Chris and I were comparing injuries and things before the game. I think he went to the chiropractor today. I went to the cardiologist yesterday. You know, it's a miracle they keep us in a booth.
Yeah, there's not a IR like they have the NFL, and all you Christian McCaffrey drafters that drafted him 1-1 overall and hasn't got a chance to see him, or there's not a DL for Major League Baseball, so we have to go through it. But we'll make it.
One other thing we did maybe not touch much on is the kicking game.
I was going to bring that up.
Woodford County last year, I remember the kicker from up there. We joked about the fact he kicked a couple of Versailles during that ball game. I think he's got 2 or 3 field goals already on the year, hitting about 90% of his extra points. That is important.
3 for 3 on the season.
And this thing could come down to one of those things. So we just throw that one out there for fun. The captains are approaching midfield. At least Pulaski's captains are.
Well, Woodford just got off the field from their pregame warm-up. So
they're on at Cali time.
Right. They're still trying to get things going. But InTrust Healthcare Counseling Services has made it their mission to be the trusted leader in promoting mental health in Kentucky for the last 25 years. We personalize your services to meet your needs, whether that be in our office, over the phone, or on your computer. Call InTrust at 606-676-0638 to get services started today from anywhere in Kentucky. You can always visit their Facebook page at InTrust Healthcare Counseling Services to learn more about how they can help you or your family today. At InTrust, your mental health matters. And, Mike, they're giving away some awards out here. Did you?
They're giving Coach Burns, and I think it would be the game ball from his first win.
Nice, okay.
That's my guess. I don't have the paperwork in front of me. And also a plaque of the team. And Coach Burns he's a rather laid-back guy. I think that's it is Stephen Godby who was doing the presenting. And
yes.
Coach Burns heads over, finds his captains, and said, let's play football. I know what he said to that official. It was like, sorry, man, let's go play football. All right, he's taking
Brady Hall, Cohen Finley,
Idlewine.
Idlewine, and Zach Anderson will be your captains for Pulaski.
And one of Woodford's captains is in street clothes, my
That's
partner.
Another one that we didn't have.
59, I think.
59, who is Kyle Woodside. 56, who is Carter Gallier. And you have the far right captain for them, number 17. 17 is Cooper Ford.
Do a little looking around at my officiating crew. I like to do things. I don't like to tell you who they are because I hope I don't mess up and even mention them, but trying to see how many of them are here. Some of the bigger games get assigned more people.
7 or 5-man crew.
Yeah, that's what I'm waiting on to see what we've got. It is homecoming, by the way, and if you're a Pulaski County graduate, this is always a big night, and we hope the communication between us and everybody else here, we're kind of isolated. Whether or not we get all the information about the Queen and court and all that, we'll do our best to bring you that, but we're actually here to bring you a football game.
The first time this year that Pulaski has not whether they have won the toss or got the chance to choose. Woodford County won the toss and will receive, so we will see the Maroons on defense first, and they will be defending the north end zone.
See, when I'm averaging 42 a game and you give me a chance, I'm taking the football. That's just me. If I'm averaging 7 a game, I might let you have the football and depend on my defense. But we get ready. Pulaski is in their home maroon, silver helmets, white pants with some maroon trim, and Woodford County's traditional yellow jacket colors of the yellow and black white jerseys. Chris informed me those are black numerals on those white jerseys and black pants. That ought to give you're watching this, you ought to be able to figure them out. One of them's wearing maroon and one of them's wearing white, and we ought to be able to short that out. What's the big sign say? Welcome to our home. You're going to regret coming.
It's homecoming. Look at that play on words.
Hey, somebody's been staying up late.
Yeah. That's pretty nice. And the Maroons getting set to make their way onto the field. We don't get an opportunity to really see the lights because we don't have it dark enough yet.
Well,
but these new lights, Mike.
Yeah, they've struggled too, I think, syncing the music. They had an electrical storm up here the other day, and it got our stuff, and it got everybody else's stuff. And I think Kevin and Brian Miller and some others have gotten most everything up here working again, but the color-coordinated light show is not available tonight. Pulaski comes out with the pirate flag, the American flag, the state of Kentucky flag. That's
it's
impressive.
like the United Nations.
Oh, that's impressive. You got 2 or 3 of these linemen that Pulaski's got. They are into stuff. I love to listen to some of the things they say. Interesting. Opening drive. You put a lot of stock in opening drive.
Yeah, you want to set the tone. Is my thoughts always has been, if you go out and you take a team and hold them to a 3 and out, then you obviously have got the momentum on your side and typically will get better field position. And on the flip side of it, if you go out offensively and you take the ball and either score quickly or march it right down the field, you take a little steam away from the bunch you're playing against.
Yeah, like you said, you've prepped for this game. You're ready to go, and everything that you've worked on, you pretty well throw that out the window right now because
everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth.
Mike Tyson once said, everybody has a plan until you get hit in the mouth, and that's we'll see who they put back deep.
Looks like you've got Jaden Shigog. Well, he's going to come over this side.
Yeah, he's coming to us.
So Leland Taylor, who will be a wide receiver this evening, he will be standing just inside his 10-yard line. And Ethan Idlewine will do the kicking duties. And we're just about ready to play.
I think the officials have said, let's do this.
We had a whistle?
I thought we did. No. Well,
we've still got lights that are blinking and flashing and carrying on, and there we go.
Flashing.
Can't play under blinking lights.
You can't play under blinking lights, and the band can't play while the football's on the field.
And so Idlewine will put his foot to it. It is a short end-over-end kick that Tomlin will field just inside his 20, cut back to the middle of the field. He's got some space, but he will finally get brought down at about the 38-yard line as look like Will Adams and Boone Godby were on the tackle, touchdown-saving tackle from what looked like to me.
That'd show you a little speed?
Yeah, he took it all the way from the near sideline here where we sit, all the way back in the middle of the field and got an opening. So Woodford County will come out, start Birchler, and he will have Wyatt Crow set off to his right side, shotgun formation, looks to pass, first play of the night, and he will find his receiver over there on the far sideline away from us. That'll be Micaiah Smith. Bear with me on these names tonight. There are some different pronunciation names for Woodford County. Pick up 5 on first down, be 2nd and 5.
I'm going to make this one easy. Just call number 3 Smith.
There you go. So a little power formation here. Lead blocker in the backfield, 2 receivers right, 2 to left. Handoff goes to Wyatt Crow around the right side, finds a little room, gets across, just across midfield, pick up 7 on 2nd down, and that will be the first down for Woodford.
2 entirely different sets.
And I said he got it across 50. They spotted it just a little short.
They just did that because you said it was across the 50. I like what they did, though. 2 different looks, 1 on the ground, 1 in the air.
Now 4-by-1 set. Leland Taylor goes in motion, and he'll get the handoff on a jet sweep. He makes a man miss there in the backfield, gets down the sideline before he's finally ran out of bounds over there on the far side. And I believe that was or Will Adams who was able to finally run him out, but not before a gain. Put it at the 36-yard line, so they're going to give him about 8, or no, they're going to give him 12.
12. Who was that on the carry?
That was Wyatt Crow. No, sorry. That was Leland Taylor, number 5.
Taylor, number 5.
Yeah, 5 receiver.
Second first down of the game. I'll catch up in a minute, I promise.
So 3 receivers here to the near side. Taylor goes in motion again. They fake it to him, and a strike is thrown in there to his receiver who was just running a little skinny post, and that was Micaiah Smith again down to the 23-yard line, so gain of 13.
Let's go laser.
Yeah, that was
on the throw.
He put that one in there. Dropping back to pass again is Herter. He's under some pressure, but he finds a man
Johnson.
Jalen Johnson gets behind the defense, and we talked about what you do on first down, and Mike, that looked pretty easy.
23 and a touchdown. Yeah, 3 of 3 through the air, 46 yards. Made it look, as you said, easy.
Yeah, so right off the bat, Woodford goes right down the field, takes it about 60 yards, Mike, 62 yards.
Wertzler has an arm.
Well, and we've lined up to go for 2, and then now they get a little type of swinging gate. Now they're going to kick the extra point. And so Logan Ford is on to attempt. Good snap, hold, and up and through. So at 11:01, just barely under a minute here in the first quarter, Woodford County jumps out on top 7-0.
At the conclusion of this game, we'll choose a Somerset Community College Offensive Player of the Game. That will be done just prior to our Elton Blakely Family of Dealerships post-game show. We want to thank everybody for making this possible. And you may have mentioned it. I was trying to catch up on my stats over here, but Woodford blew through the Rick Barker Godby Realty and Auctions red zone as if it wasn't there.
Well, yeah, because they started just outside, so
yep.
I did not give.
No, they just zipped through it on the way to the touchdown, but that was an impressive opening drive.
It really was, and you alluded to it. You saw what they run, 6 plays?
6 plays, 2 on the ground for a total of 19 yards and 4 passes for a total of 46 yards and a touchdown.
And they lined up in 6 different formations. So Ford will look to kick it off, and it is a low end-over-end kick. Ford will take this at about inside the 10-yard line. He gets upended right at the 30-yard line, so about an 18-yard return, and that's where the Maroons will start the night on offense.
Well, I asked you earlier how important that opening drive is. If you take the football, now that the other team has taken it and headed down the field, how important is this drive?
Pretty important to answer, after which I failed to mention the Intrust Healthcare kickoff. That's the second one of the night. Pulaski will come out and will need to answer. And they will come out in a bigger package. They've got a lead blocker. That's Decker. No, that is Gunnar Lovelace.
It sure is.
And Zach turned around and hands off to Brock. And Brock will jump over the 30-yard line, give him a gain of 3, bring up 2nd and 7.
Yeah, different look. You came out with an eye set, and now they'll go back to what I consider their normal set.
A bunch package, and they're going to get Woodford on the hard count, jumping offside, so we get a free 5 yards.
All donations.
First penalty of the night. And so you go from 2nd and 7 to 2nd and 2.
Yeah, you just gave Pulaski County not a free down by any stretch of the imagination, but they want to get creative. This is a time you can.
So hands off to Brock off the left side. He finds some room, gets across the 40 up to about the 42-yard line. So give him 5 on the carry.
First down in the game.
Yep. Boone Godby will check in as they will bring a lineman out of the game. So they will go to a more spread type package here.
Okay, we've got trips. We've got 3 wide, but you've also got
you've got
2 in the backfield.
Yeah, you got 2 right now. So Idlewind is in the pistol formation. Brock behind Anderson, and Brock will take the handoff. Off tackle to the left side will pick up short yardage. Give him 2 on the spot. In Woodford County, Mike, if you look at this defense, they don't have anybody back deep.
No, they do not. 6 yards from the line of scrimmage, make it 7 at most. Well,
he's kind of floating around, but he's staying really close.
Very tight.
Their man press coverage with the safety shadowing Denmeyer, so they're doubling him. Now they're going to throw it out here in the flat, and Anderson just kind of had to throw that one away because Woodford had been watching some game film, and they saw Brock coming out on the little screen pass, and if Anderson throws it, when he needed to throw it,
That might have
pick
had six written on it.
Right.
Yeah. The defense was ready for that.
So Wilden will check in. Godby will come out. Brings up 3rd and 8.
Pulaski a little confused, I think, about what they want to do right now.
Right. Taking their time, which is not bad, other than the clock has stopped, so you're really not gaining anything. But shotgun formation, you've got Brock and Idlewine in the backfield. Wilden and Denmeyer split out. Anderson under some pressure. He's going to be sacked from the backside. That's going to be number 43 for the Yellow Jackets, Kingston Dumas. And a loss of about 5. We'll bring up 4th down, and the Maroons will have to punt.
So a first down was in the middle of that, but Pulaski actually only netted about 5 yards in that trip, and they will punt for the first time in the game.
So the run on first down only gets you 2. You're still behind the chains a little bit. Brock will do the punting, and he will get a kick off that gets down to about the 30. It's picked up on a hop by Leland Taylor, and he will bring it up across the 20, about the 23-yard line.
Well, a good punt, but Woodford County's deep back made the decision to field that one on the bounce, and in so doing saved about 10 or 15 yards.
Could have been big yards. And, I mean, you have to give that was one of those type of plays that it could be dangerous, but if you pick it up, it ends up being a great decision.
And that one turned out to be a good decision.
So Wurtzler will come back out, shotgun formation. He'll bring Taylor into the backfield with him. Fake it to no, he'll give it to Taylor on the sweep to the right side, and Pulaski is there for that one, and there'll be no gain. And if you look, I mean, there's about 6 maroon jerseys coming off the pile.
Pick them.
Yeah, you can get anybody you want. Tristan Bowling, that's 58. Bryson Brown in there on the tackle, as well as got a 44 out there. I don't have a 44 on my roster, Mike.
Let me see what I've got. Maybe.
So Woodford on 2nd and 10. 3 receivers here to the near side. Wurtzler rolls to the left side. He's looking down the field deep. He's got a man behind him. A perfectly thrown ball got behind Brock, and that is going to end up in being a 66-yard touchdown pass.
Wow.
Just like that, there's that quick strike offense that you has talked about and said that Woodford was going to try to throw it over the top.
That time, probably 5, maybe 8 yards of over-the-top cushion. They bit on the out and got burned.
And that's a 76-yard touchdown pass. I said 66, and I didn't do my math justice there. So extra point is up and good. And if you're just joining us, there's been some fireworks by the visiting team. 8:02 remaining on the clock here in the first quarter on the Randall D. Turpin CPA scoreboard, and Pulaski finds themselves down on the homecoming night 14-0.
And a big thank you to the Don Franklin Somerset family of dealerships for being the official photography sponsor of Lake Cumberland Sports. At Don Franklin, they work daily to provide their customers with the best possible experience. You can visit any one of their 5 Somerset locations or go to Facebook at Don Franklin Somerset Family of Dealerships, where they will treat you and me and Chris and everybody else in the booth like family. We want to thank everybody for that. We get more I get more comments about Nick and the pictures that get posted, and we thank the folks at Don Franklin for making that happen. Chris, who actually got credit for the touchdown?
Omari Joyner. Number 14.
Yeah, Mr. Joyner, and we decided 72, right?
76.
76.
Yep.
All right.
I said, from the 24 to the end zone is 76 yards, right?
Last time I checked, yes.
Back on it.
Good job, partner.
Well, I was kind of in shock about the play, but now here's a little pooch kick that Wilden will field at about the 37, and he takes it running, gets across the 40, will get brought down right there. So the Maroons will have good starting field position for their second drive of the game. And after what we have seen from the Yellow Jackets in the first two possessions, really need to do something with this drive.
Well, again, Coach Burns told me, he said they like to go up top, and they waited till the second series, but that one was probably, 40 in the air maybe, the rest of it on the run. But
that was rolling to his left, which is his offside, and threw it up and threw a strike. Brock will take the handoff from Anderson, and he makes one cut, and he finds some green turf. And he's going to get all the way in. He will get into the end zone. And so let's have that for an answer, Mr. Kerr.
Go 57, and I will point out Brock was the defender who got maybe beaten.
Right. So just like that, and I do not have 7:47. So first play from scrimmage. Now, there is a track around the outside of this, but this has got the makings of a track meet.
Got the potential to be a track meet right now. Boy, pretty good speed by Brock. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, he got to the secondary, and he made that one cut. And as I mentioned, as the extra point is up and good by Hayden Johnson. And so on the Ronald D. Turpin CPA scoreboard, at 7:47 of the first quarter, PC gets on the board and now trails 14-7.
That's a Citizens National Bank touchdown, and Brock blew through that Rick Barker red zone again on the way to the house. I didn't say anything on the previous bomb that Pulaski got burned on because Brock is the one who got beat on the outside. Now, was he supposed to have safety help? I don't know.
Right.
So that's not, I'm not down there, but I'm saying he sure came back and said, okay, catch this. And this one's going to last a while, partner. I said 31-28. That was my halftime score.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You going back on?
Yeah, I'm rethinking that number.
Your prediction?
Yeah.
So, just like that, Idlewild will look to kick it off again as Leland Taylor will stand at his 5-yard line.
A little late getting the extra player out there.
You really want to have 11 on the field. And there again, popped up that Micaiah Smith will take here on the near sideline, runs it back to the middle of the field. Ball came out, I believe, Mike. I'm pretty sure I saw a ball come out, and Woodford will be able to get back on top of it, but Smith took it back to the middle of the field, and somebody was in there swiping at it and got it to come out, and Woodford got a fortuitous bounce and able to get back on top of it.
Yeah, that would have been a momentum changer.
Yeah. So from the 33, this will be Woodford's worst starting position of the night. Wertzler will come back out. He's got Crow just off his right shoulder. 3 receivers to the right. He rolls that way. Now he's under some pressure, and he's going to be sacked. First sack of the night, and that's Mr. Finley, Broderick Finley, with the sack.
And the wheels just fell out from under him.
He went to try to make a move and come back, and Broderick was there to meet him. And that is a loss of 7 on first down, and will bring up 2nd and 17. So if you watched or didn't watch, but if you listened to the game last year, Pulaski was able to get Woodford in some bad down and distances, but Woodford was able to make up for it. Wetzler drops straight back. He was looking to go deep. Now he rolls, scrambles out of the pocket, and he will stop just before the line of scrimmage and find Wyatt Crow out of the backfield.
24 yards on a sidearm going the wrong way direction throw.
And so there you are, Mike, 2nd and 17, and they get every bit of it back on one play. Ball sets just at midfield.
Hey, it's just me. I know, but somebody else was come do it. You're driving me nuts. You ready to quit.
What's going on? Is it us?
I wasn't yelling at you.
And so Wertzler comes out, shotgun formation. He's got Crow off his left shoulder, fakes it to him, throws out to Grayson Hodge, And he gets brought down by Idlewind after a short gain. They're going to give him 1. It will be 2nd and 9. So Idlewind doing a very good job getting out in the flat on that one.
Well, so far, Wertzler is 6 of 6 for 148 and a couple touchdowns.
Pretty efficient. Sends 2 receivers to the far side, 2 to the near side. Crow off his right side. Hodge goes in motion. He fakes it, and there's the first misthrown pass of the night by Wertzler. Pass was intended for number 14, who caught the touchdown pass. That was Joyner, and it threw it behind him.
They gave you all the eye candy with the sweep and fake sweep going right and then threw the slant behind it. I like the concept. Fortunately for Pulaski, it was not on target.
3rd and 9. Can the defense get him off the field? Wertzler rolls to his right. He's looking. He's still looking. Throws it deep down the field and overthrows his intended receiver out there in Jalen Johnson. And good coverage over there that time. Will Adams was out there trying to cover Johnson, who's already got 1 touchdown on the night. And that will bring up 4th down. And you would think that Woodford would punt, but
they're showing punt.
Right.
Let's go with that.
Logan Ford, who does their place kicking duties, the kickoff duties, and the punting duties. He's a true kicker, Mike.
And he wears green shoes.
That's right.
Or yellow shoes. Huh?
Little high snap, but he's able to get it off. Spiral that hits at about the 15, and so what Woodford County was able to do on the punt and pick up on the bounce, Findlay doesn't come up and field it, and it rolls dead inside the 1 yard line.
47 on the punt.
There's the difference.
47 and no return.
At the 6:04 mark on the Randall D. Turpin CPA scoreboard in the first quarter, fireworks early. Woodford County's 14, Pulaski 7.
We said kicking would have a bearing. There's a play in the kick game.
Yeah, and that Finley had an opportunity, Mike, to come up and catch that ball and chose not to. I wish he'd have fair caught it and, would have saved him some yardage.
Probably 15 or so.
He will stay in. He and Denmeyer will go wide to the far side.
No help.
And we're going to have a delayed game is my guess.
Good call.
Yep. It took a long time getting out on the field. So, but here's the good thing about it. Half the distance to the goal.
What was it, a foot?
You lost a quarter of a yard.
A quarter of a yard. Okay, quarter of a yard. I don't know how to figure that. I'm just going to put it down as 5.
So Anderson under center. And I think the ball may have came out, Mike. I'm not sure, but he was already moving and jumping, and he's able to get out of the end zone as they spot the ball at about the 1.5 yard line. So give him a yard on the quarterback sneak.
He got back the penalty, basically.
Right, exactly. So 2nd and 9. 2 tight ends set. Brock in the backfield has to fight his way out of the end zone to avoid the safety. Woodford was bringing middle linebacker blitz. They were bringing 9.
They did. They brought 9 and had 2 guys on the wide receivers.
They're playing man-to-man coverage out there on Denmeyer and Finley and had 9 in the box.
No gamble in them, right?
So 3rd and 7. Brock was able to pick up 2. Hands it to him again off the left side. He gets through a tackle and a big first down. I don't know that you can have a bigger first down unless you're trying to salt the game away, but he's going to get all the way up to about the 15-yard line. So give him 12 on the carry and a big first down. Have I said big enough?
That was big enough. That was huge. I mean, those are things that you don't remember that play later in the game, but this changed the whole complexion. Now you've got first down and little field to work with.
Yeah, out of the shadow of your own end zone. Hands it off to Brock again off the right side. He's met at the line of scrimmage, but bounces off that tackler, keeps his leg moving, and will get across the 20 to about the 22-yard line. So give him 7 on first down. And Cason's he has earned a little breather.
7 carries, 87 yards, and a touchdown so far.
So
Pulaski.
Toby Wright has checked in at a receiver. He and Denmeyer will go wide to the right. Ethan will go to the tailback, and Gunnar Lovelace in at the fullback. Anderson under center, turns and hands it off to Ethan off the left side, and he's going to get into the secondary before he's finally brought down. Gain of 6.
We touched on that a little bit in our opening. A bigger back running between the tackles, and Brock got a break for all of – no, he's still out. I thought he'd check back in, but he hasn't.
Well, right now, Brady Hull, Connor Lovelace, and Mason Hall are owning the offensive line of scrimmage.
Yes.
Full house backfield. And Idlewild gets to the line of scrimmage, hurdles a man, and your lead blocker, we've talked about him being back and what he's done. Gunnar Lovelace just took the middle linebacker for Woodford and pancaked him out here at about right where the ball is at, out here by the numbers. So that's your lead blocker. Idlewild picks up 5 on first down, bring up 2nd and 5.
Yeah, those are your 2 of your starting linebackers that you've got lined up in the backfield.
Right.
Now.
As Hayden Winston Ford is checked in at the tailback. He'll get the carry. He'll make a little cut back to the left side, and he's going to pick up 8 on second down. So after they got off the goal line, Mike, it has been, hey, we're going to run it. Stop us if you can.
I like it. They haven't stopped it, so you keep running it, and the defense is – again, defenses can't stay out there for 30 plays.
No, and that's exactly, Woodford is one of those few teams that we've seen so far. Corbin would have been another, but Woodford does not use a whole lot of players both ways.
They bring a lot.
Right. So, again, full house backfield. Hand off again to Winston Ford, and he is going to pick up a few yards.
And you saw Woodford that time, though. They're through playing around. They went back to shooting the gaps with the defense.
Did you ever find us a 44?
No, I didn't.
I didn't either.
It's not on my roster anywhere.
Yeah.
I've got 2
He's
different
coming
rosters.
off the field right now. He's been a lead blocker on several plays. He's been playing linebacker a couple times. I just do not have that young man's name.
See if we can't get that at least by the halftime.
So 2nd and 8. Brock is checked back in. He will follow Idlewild off the right side. We'll pick up 2. Give him 3. And we'll bring up the 3rd down. And so if nothing else, if you do not get the first down here, what you have done is you have flipped field position, because they had the ball inside the 1-yard line to start this drive.
You were facing 3rd inside your own 5, yeah.
And so at the very worst, you have flipped field position. And again, we're under 10 seconds, and Pulaski's just now getting ready to go, but they will. Denmeyer will come in motion. Anderson fakes to Brock. He's looking for Denmeyer. Denmeyer's down there. The defender Denver just
Did he
gave
lead him
up.
out of bounds?
Yep, I'm going to say he was out of bounds, but the defender didn't think that Anderson was going to throw the ball to him because he quit running.
The defender literally never, like you said, he quit running and turned his head back toward the play.
And you see some of the leaders on the defensive team are having a conversation with him right now. I mean, you don't leave the Pulaski's best receiver.
You would think that came up in their scouting report,
You would
that 13 guy will go deep occasionally.
Well, Coach Burns has decided to put the cards on the table.
Hard count?
Well, he tried right there, and there was a flinch by the defensive end, Davion Sturgis, on this side, but he didn't get across. And so Coach Burns will have to burn his first timeout, the Ron Shaw Realtor timeout of the ball game here with 37 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Maroons trail 14-7 and a fourth down decision upcoming.
The name you know when you, your friends and family are buying or selling real estate is Ron Shaw with Weicker Realtors Ford Brothers. Ron has a long-standing history of community service and a proud sponsor of youth sports in the Lake Cumberland area. Ron truly cares for others, works hard for all his clients, no matter the size or value of the property they're selling. You can contact Ron at 606-271-0774 or email him at ronshaw45@gmail.com. That's Ron Shaw at Weicker Realtors Ford Brothers. You're listening to Toyota of Somerset's high school football presented by Ford Brothers Auctioneers. This is your Buffalo Wings and Rings video game of the week from Pulaski High School. From Lake Cumberland Sports, we are proud you've joined us. Our other games tonight, Southwestern and Mercer County, you can also pick them up and listen to them, or Somerset and Campbellsville. We've got the world covered.
Southwestern is scoreless after one quarter against Mercer 0-0. The Maroons will go for it. Anderson drops back, and he had Denmeyer at about the 40-yard line. Was a little bit rushed, maybe threw it before he wanted to, threw it behind Harris, and it will be a turnover on downs. But that is one of those plays, write it down, the 34-second mark of the first quarter could have very easily been the tying touchdown.
Yeah, that one was a tough throw, but not an impossible throw by any stretch, and just a misconnect.
First time that Woodford County played zone coverage. So Wertzler will bring the offense back on the field. Taylor goes in motion, stops at his left shoulder, and a little double handoff action. Fakes it to Taylor, then hands it off to Crow coming back here to the near side. And he ran through about 3 potential tacklers before he finally got brought down. What ended up being a short gain. And
I was lost. I couldn't find the football from the get-go on that one.
So Coach Johnson is content to let the first quarter end. Here from Pulaski Field, Pulaski High School, Woodford County leads this one 14-7. When we come back, we will bring you second quarter action after this.
Toyota of Somerset, we're known for great service before and after the sale and so much more. Since 1988, Toyota of Somerset has been supporting our local communities. And we sell and service what a number of different rating services call the most fuel-efficient, dependable, and safe vehicles on the road. Toyota. Toyota of Somerset, South Highway 27 Somerset, and online at toyotaofsomerset.com. At Toyota of Somerset, we're all about
Here to come in 17500, here to come in 175.2. I-200 down and count it here to come in a quarter.
Like successful sports programs, putting together a successful auction takes a lot of planning, organization, attention to detail, and teamwork. And you need dedicated and committed people pulling together. At Ford Brothers Auctioneers, we've been successfully selling the country since 1965. Ford Brothers Auctioneers. Give us a call or visit us online at FordBrothersInc.com.
Ford Brothers Auctioneers, we're selling the country.
Let us show you the strength that comes by making every moment count. We're here to help. Hospice of Lake Cumberland.
And we are back to live action, and Wertzler will find Omari Joyner, who had the big long touchdown pass. And Mike, did you get a yardage?
20
on the pitch and catch. And
7th first down, and just like that, and I mean that in one play, Woodford is back threatening.
So early on here in the second quarter, we saw fireworks to begin the game. Pulaski was able to get on the board. Woodford looking to strike again. 1st and 10 from just inside the 30. Handoff given to Jaden Shigog around the left side. Flag comes flying in as Lovelace will make the tackle. I believe we're going to get a holding out there.
First time we've called Shigog's name, or that I remember. He also is blessed with pretty good quicks.
He is. And so that may be why he got make some free space out there as one of those big linemen. Got his paws on the defender and wouldn't let go. So that will be a 10-yard penalty.
Second penalty of the game assessed against Woodford County.
So down does not count. 1st and 20. Back outside the 35 to the 37-yard line now. Shigog stays in the game. Motion man is Taylor. Fakes it to him and gives it back the same play we saw earlier. Shigog, and over there on the tackle is Braden Ping. So the Yellow Jackets are going backwards, Mike.
Yeah, they want a minus about 13 to start this drive, and Pulaski needs to not give up a chunk here and convince them to punt the football.
Right. So 2nd and 21. 3 receivers to the right, single receiver to the far side. Wertzler takes the snap, drops straight back. He's looking down the field. He's had a man behind the defender, and you're going to get a hold, yeah. So in coverage over there was Godby, and Johnson, who's a big receiver and got some speed, he was able to get past Boone, and I don't hate what he did. He saved a touchdown,
and it's also not a first down.
Right, and so it comes up to the ball spots at the 30. So you go from a potential touchdown to 2nd and 12.
Sure. Not a bad penalty.
But these defenders are going to have to start giving just a little more room, and they're going to have to start getting some pressure on Wertzler. Only rushing 3. Late defender comes in. Now he's got a man down there behind the defenders again, and I believe that is Johnson, who got behind the coverage.
30 yards.
So 30-yard touchdown pass from Wertzler to Johnson, his 2nd of the night. How long did you say it was?
30.
30 yards at the 10:25 mark of the 2nd quarter. So here's the thing about the Yellow Jackets. They don't wait very long.
No, they don't. This offense is scary right now.
So Ford puts the extra point up and through his 3rd of the game. And so on the Randall D. Turpin CPA scoreboard, Woodford County now leads this one 21-7.
When a loved one faces a serious illness, it can feel overwhelming. But you're not alone. Hospice of Lake Cumberland is here to provide comfort, support, and dignity. Our team of experts focuses on pain management, emotional support, and helping your family navigate this difficult time. We believe in celebrating life, even in the final chapters. Let us help you create moments of peace and connection. Hospice of Lake Cumberland, compassionate care when it matters most. And let's don't forget our friends at Promo Lawn Service. We'll select the lineman of the game. Tired of battling weeds and overgrown grass? Promo is here to tackle your yard so you can relax and enjoy it. We offer expert mowing, trimming, edging, hedge trimming, and even specialized yard treatments to keep your lawn looking its absolute best. Promo Lawn Service, your lawn's MVP. Call today for a free quote and experience the difference. Okay, this is a 2-score game now. If you're Pulaski County, you get the football to start the second half. This is a drive that you would really love to put points on the board.
Yes, you would. Ford stands back just inside the 5-yard line. He'll field it at the 2. Comes back here to the middle of the field, makes a man miss, finds a seam. He's got some space. He's got the kicker to beat. He will get, ball comes out, but the Maroons able to hang on. Toby Wright is there.
Wow.
Winston Ford took that one about 60 plus.
Yep.
Had the kicker to beat. Kicker reached out, grabbed a hold of the jersey, and then was able to strip the ball. So
yeah.
But luckily, crisis diverted as Toby Wright was there to jump on it. And so we had the Intrust Healthcare kickoff almost resulted in a Citizens National Bank touchdown.
If you're Pulaski, though, that's a gift. You came up with a fumble, and now you've got a short field to work with.
Yeah, by far the best starting field position. They started inside their one last drive. Did not able to capitalize, but Anderson goes under center, turns around, and just a quick dive to Brock, and he's tackled, but not before he picks up 5 on first down.
Remember before the game you told me that Woodford County was only giving up about 50 yards, more or less, a game on the ground.
Right.
Well, they've given up double that already, but they have given up 0 yards to the air.
Right. So you're going to have some receiving yards, or this, the safeties are going to creep up, linebackers are going to start blitzing like they are, and you get just a massive humanity at the line of scrimmage, and that's what Kaysen ran into right there, and we'll get no gain. Maybe they're going to loss of 1 on the play.
Yeah, and the thing is, when you see a team that is confident enough to stick their corners or a corner and a safety face up on your outside 2 receivers, and the safety is literally 5 yards from the football, they're telling you, you can't beat my guys over the top.
Right, and they're playing a very aggressive inside, and here's a Wildcat formation with Ethan Idlewind, and that tells you that Coach Burns is going to go for it here on 4th down. Typically, when you run it on 3rd, you're going to go for it on 4th, but you mentioned the corner and the safety, and right now you've got a corner who is playing inside coverage, leverage on the wide receiver. You have the safety up who's playing a good 4 or 5 yards inside the slot receiver, and they're just basically saying, hey, you can't beat us over the top, and you're not going to throw a slant against us.
Yep.
2 receivers to the near side, 2 to the right, and we're going to get a timeout by Woodford County as Coach Johnson will take his first of the game, and that is a Ron Shaw Realtor timeout here before the 4th down play deep in Jackets territory.
Randall D. Turpin CPA scoreboard 21-7, Pulaski trailing with 8:22 to go here in the second quarter. Since 1979, Modern Systems have been protecting communities all across Kentucky, and they're proud to be part of the communities they serve, committing time and sponsorship to numerous charities like Project 5810, Relay for Life, March of Dimes, Heart Walk, local school programs, and many more. Modern Systems, your neighbor, your friends, they work 24/7 to protect the things that matter most to you, from home to business to schools and churches. Let Modern Systems be your trusted name and security. We'll remind you it's homecoming here at Pulaski County tonight. The halftime show will probably last, we've been told, about 20 minutes. So Chris and I will get to do some score checking and a lot of other stuff at halftime tonight.
Yeah, so I did get an update from Southwestern. It was 0-0 at the end of 1. I've not heard an update from Somerset's game. Anderson takes the snap, drops back. He's got time. He's got room out here to the left and decides to throw it all the way back across the field. And I think that's one that Zach would like to have back. There's a flag on the field over there, Mike, though, that I think we're going to get a holding, which should result in a first down on the secondary. Now they're going to get pass interference. So
you'll take that.
Zach had the opportunity to pick up the first down with his legs and throws it all the way back across the field.
That was a 40-yard pass. It was 3 yards downfield if you want to take the – well, if you're Pulaski, of course, I don't know. Zach may have seen the hole.
Right.
You know, he may have said he's got my man wrapped up.
So good decision it ends up being, and that takes the ball for the first time into the Rick Barker red zone. We've had 4 touchdowns, and none of them have been from inside the red zone. I formation. Brock takes the handoff off the right side, following his lead blocker, Loveless, and he's going to pick up close to 4 or 5. They're going to give him 5 on first down. 2nd and 5.
Brock makes that little jump cut there at the hole, and he just he made the first man miss, and falling forward behind his pads, he gets 5. And down here, 5 on any down is a good thing.
And again, can't say enough about what the offensive line is
They're
doing.
doing their job.
And a very shallow stance by Brock. He's only about 2 yards. But look at the push. I mean, you look how far down the field the defensive line, all the white jerseys, even with 9 guys in the box, and Cason's still going to pick up 2.
It's going to put him right at 100 on 12 carries for the game. This is definitely, without a doubt, even though I'm usually wrong, 4-down territory if you need it.
Oh, I agree with you 100%. And again, Pulaski's got the 2 extra linemen in there, and Brock off the right side.
Ooh.
This time, the Yellow Jackets are up to the challenge and will stop him for a loss of 1. So you go a loss of 2. You go from 3rd and 2 to 4th and 5.
Now, all of a sudden, I might rethink, although Pulaski's not rethinking anything, I might try to take the 3. But that's not been in their repertoire this year.
Godby and Idlewind check in to give 4 receivers on the field. Anderson will go into the shotgun. He'll have Brock off his right shoulder. And a snap that hits Anderson in the hands. He went to take off before he got it, dropped it, and Woodford will recover and will be another turnover on downs. Second one of the night. And Woodford, bend but don't break defense.
I'm not down there, but it looked to me like Anderson took his eye off the snap to see what he was going to happen on the right side, which is where he was headed. And it appeared to me that the snap was not that far errant.
No.
It was just mishandled.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. I mean,
so as it stands,
opportunity wasted.
Wurtzler will come back out, bring the offense on the field. He's got Wyatt Crow back there looking to pass. He's got all kinds of time.
Wow.
He finds his target, Leland Taylor, out there with nobody around. He's going to take it across the 25 to the 26. Going to give him a gain of 12 on first down and results in a first down.
Yeah, they caught Pulaski in something of a zone that left a flat wide open over there. I'm not sure what it was, but that had to be a blown assignment.
Well, the Maroons are trying to play coverage. I mean, they're only rushing 3.
Right.
And they have got no pressure on Wurtzler in this game. There's a fake jet sweep. Wurtzler, now they do get a little pressure, but he gets a man behind the secondary,
Johnson.
and he threw that ball
70, 60 in the air. On the move.
Yeah, 60 plus yards, again, rolling out to his left. Now, guys, if anybody, he is a right-handed quarterback.
He is.
And he is rolled to his left. Now, you give the young man credit. He got his feet set, got his body square, and he unleashed a ball.
And missed his receiver by nothing.
That much.
Yep.
So 2nd and 10 after the big incompletion. Wurtzler drops straight back, takes 1 step, finds his receiver out there, and the dipsy-do over there as Johnson just gave the leg and took it back, then gave the leg again and took it back, and he will pick up close to 13. That was Johnson on the reception. He's having a big – no, that was Joyner.
Was it Joyner?
I'm sorry. Yeah, that
gave
was.
it to Johnson.
That's my fault. That's who I called. So, yeah, that was Joyner out there.
10th first down on the game.
Have an equipment issue, I believe, by one of the Yellow Jackets. They send him up. He had the old knee pad pulled up above your knees.
Showing off some legs. That is a point of emphasis this year.
So
he said with a grin.
Wurtzler from the shotgun. This time he will hand it off to Wyatt Crow, and he finds a gap, and he gets all the way into the secondary, gets all the way across the 50 down to about the 44, so give him a gain of 15 on first down. So right now, the Woodford County offense are just putting up chunk yardage.
Yes, they are.
And Wertzler has not been under any distress, and Woodford still able to run the ball. So there'll have to be some halftime adjustments, and you're just hoping not to be down 21.
You hope you're only down 2 scores.
Right. So now we're going to get a timeout before the delay of game, and that will be
a Ron Shaw Realty timeout.
No, they're calling a penalty. They did not call.
Oh, well.
No, they did not use the timeout. The official was having a hard time giving the signal, and I kept waiting for him to give the timeout call, and he gave a
That's a sideline thing. There should have been a timeout taken there.
So backs it up 5 yards, 1st and 15, which has not deterred Woodford's offense very much. And there's just a quick option throw out there to Leland Taylor. His helmet comes off, but he'll pick up the penalty yardage +2, give him 7. And, Mike, I believe that was supposed to have been a running play.
It
and
was.
Wertzler looked up, and
Pulaski
Taylor
sent a run. They sent a backer off that side, and
Taylor standing out there all by his lonesome.
Yep, that's RPO if you want to call it that. It's just a read.
And so 2nd and 8, 4 minutes to go here before halftime. The Maroons trail at 21-7. Wertzler, he's looking deep. He's got looking for Johnson, and those two, they've hooked up once, and that time it was well overthrown. But Wertzler has looked his way on several occasions, and you have to give credit Brock, who is on the offensive side of the ball, putting in his best effort, and he's also at safety, and he's having to cover Johnson.
Yeah, we talked about this playing both ways. It has a drawback when the other team's running all these deep routes.
Right. So 3rd and 8 from the 42-yard line of the Maroons. Wertzler will hand it off this time up the middle, and was that Lovelace?
Over the top.
Lovelace at that no-name 44 that we're going to have to find out who that
Brian
is at halftime.
Bosworth.
Brian Bosworth.
Yes.
Makes the stop and will set up 4th down, and Woodford's in a hurry. They've lined back up and they're ready to go, trying to draw the defense off sides. That's exactly what that was.
That was designed to steal 5.
Right.
Didn't work.
So Wertzler will woe things up, and he'll look to Coach Johnson, and they will decide if they're going to let this clock run down and take the delay game
or
call a timeout, and they will. Coach Johnson will this time take a Ron Shaw Realtor timeout. Their 2nd of the half. So 3 minutes, 20 seconds, 25, let's see here, 3:26 remaining before halftime. Big 4th down opportunity right here.
Rick Marker, Godby Realty and Auction. Names you know, names you can trust. Real estate and auction and services for farm, commercial, residential, and personal. Godby Realty and Auction has 49 years experience in real estate and auction business, and we're ready to put that to work for you. Go online at godbyrealty.com for more information. We will try at halftime, since we'll have a little extra time, to do some score checking and see what all we can figure out's going on. We do know that Pulaski County trails 21-7 on the Randall D. Turpin CPA scoreboard with 3:26 to go in the 2nd quarter. And at the Pulaski 42-yard line, Woodford decided to run the clock down and take a timeout. This is 4th and let's call it 7. Short 8, long 7, one or the other. But if you're Pulaski's defense, and they're showing punt. Chris, wake me up.
You like the decision?
Are they showing punt?
They are showing punt.
No, I don't like the decision.
Well, I like it if you're a Pulaski fan.
Yeah, amen.
And there is a hanger that Finley this time will come up and make the fair catch at the 1-yard line. So down at the reservation, Mercer County and Southwestern playing down there, and Southwestern trails 3-0 at halftime.
Well, we started out with a track meet here, but we're not real sure. Let's see. Pat's got me a score. Somerset 14-6 with 4:40 remaining in the opening half. Thank you, Pat. Somerset in a game I won't call a must-win, but a needed win for that bunch over Campbellsville. Well, Pulaski's got it back. My statement says they got 2 timeouts left. I may not be right.
2 timeouts, 3:19 on the clock, starting at your 10-yard line. And Brock takes a handoff off the left tackle. He will fall across the 12 for a gain of 2 on first down.
That puts him back at 100. He's been to 100 3 times tonight.
Well, hopefully he does not go backwards again.
So at halftime, I got one job. That's to find out who 44 is.
Yeah, that bugs me a little bit. I thought we had everything.
Well, we do have all the rosters that they have given anybody.
Right. Loveless back at fullback, Brock at tailback, a little play action. Anderson is under some pressure, tries to hit Wilden on a little tight end screen and throws it too high and will fall incomplete and bring up third down. So
stop the clock.
The Maroons were trying to take advantage of Woodford's aggressiveness because, again, if you're watching, you can see for yourself. You've got 2 defenders out here guarding 2 receivers man-to-man. You've got 9 guys in the box. Now they send 4 out this way looking for the pass as Brock goes in motion, empty backfield, and they try to set up the screen again, and this was going to be whapped down at the line of scrimmage. So the potential of a big play there on third down because there was blockers in front. They had done the job to get the defense spread out and would have at least resulted in a first down, turns into a fourth down. And more importantly, very little time came off the clock on that one, Mike.
And one timeout remaining, and Brock will be standing near his end zone when he gets this one off.
His foots are on the goal line right now as Leland Taylor stands back at the 45 to field the punt, and it's going to hit at the 40. Take one big hop, and this time Taylor is going to get away from it. It will roll across midfield and roll dead at about the 46-yard line. So 2:23 remaining before halftime. Randall D. Turpin CPA scoreboard. The Maroons trail 21-7, and you've got to think that Coach Johnson's club is going to look for something over top here to try to get another score before halftime.
Halftime score. Southwestern trailing Mercer 3-0. Trying to keep you posted. If I am, as many times they've gone over the top tonight, I run a draw.
Wertzler takes a snap, takes 2 steps back, looking for the quick pass, and the Maroons have it covered, but now he rolls out to his left, finds some space, and will run out of bounds, get ran out of bounds over there by Braden Ping, but not before he picks up 7 on first down. So not only does the young man have a rocket for an arm, Mike, he's not had to run a whole lot tonight, but showed some pretty good skill set right there.
Got some scoots. How come we haven't heard his name mentioned with all these players for Player of the Year and stuff?
Well, look at their scores. I mean, they've been blowing everybody out, so looked like there was early movement.
There was movement, and the back tripped.
And Wertzler will not only get 3 touchdown packets, but he will be credited for a tackle right there.
He did get a tackle as he sent Crow to the turf.
Yeah, so Crow will lose 2 on the carry as he was tripped up by his quarterback. So
friendly fire, right?
Right.
Now, if you're Pulaski and they don't pick it up on third down here, we're playing ifs and buts. Do I call timeout?
They punted last time. I don't expect them to punt again.
Okay. Then I don't give them that down. Then.
Wertzler rolls here to the right side looking to try to get the first down. He is being chased by Finley. Reverses field. He's still looking downfield. He's going to try to get what he can get, and good job by that defense as 2 of your bigger players in Brody Johnson and 44.
Now you don't have to make that call about timeout.
Right.
He ran out of bounds.
Stops the clock.
Yeah. Wexler He got nothing out of that, but it was fun to watch.
Right. Yeah. I mean, he ran 60 to gain a half.
It's quite a low return on your investment, but it's better than a loss, I guess.
And Woodford's going to end up with a delay of game penalty right here because there's 5 seconds.
I don't think they care.
Sure, but I mean, you're 1 second, you've not got lined back up, and there's the flag. There's the delay of game penalty. And so that will back him up 5 yards. But as you said, I mean, this kicker, Logan Ford, has had one roll inside the 1. He's kicked a nice pooch punt that Finley had to catch, fair catch at the 10. So not only is he getting distance, Mike, he's getting nice hang time.
Yes.
And it allows the coverage team to get down there.
If you're Pulaski, you're down 2 scores. You don't want anything crazy to happen here.
There's a snap, and there is a nice high spiral that turns over, and Finley.
You're kidding me.
Gets out of the way.
53 and no return.
Guess where the ball's at, Mike?
I'm going to guess the 1.
Inside the 1 yard line for the second time tonight.
I don't know if this kid does that all the time, but that ball had plenty of hang time.
Nice tight spiral. It turned over.
Yeah.
And so
I think they've made Pulaski's decision for them. You hand the ball to Brock.
You run it 3 times.
If he happens to break one, you get excited. If he doesn't, you go in at halftime.
Yeah, what you do not want to have happen right here is get a safety. You cannot take a safety.
Pulaski can't give up more points right now until they have a chance to get some back.
So we've not seen Ford attempt a field goal tonight, but from what I have seen on kickoffs, punts, and extra points, that kid's going to be kicking on Saturday as they do hand to Brock off the left side. He's just going to dive up to about the 3, give him a gain of 2. And we had a whistle that I thought was going to be a timeout, but nope.
I can't believe Pulaski would take, and Woodford's only got 1. So.
Right, so you use it, and they run 2 more plays, and it doesn't matter, but now, if they get a stop here, Pulaski will have to run at least 1 more play.
Yeah.
But you need to wait till after 3rd down. Hand off to Brock. This time, he tries to cut back right up the center, right behind his center, and will get stopped for no gain. So, depending on when they spot the ball, which that should be the last play of the first half.
If neither team yanks a timeout out of their pocket, that ought to do it.
Well, if I'm Coach Johnson, I'm calling timeout and make him snap it at least 1 more time. And you maybe get a bad handoff. You get a bad center quarterback exchange. But I think Coach Johnson is content to take this one into the half.
And he did a pretty good job in his opening half.
Yeah. So, and they will. Both teams, no, we do have a timeout, or at least we have a stoppage.
At 5 seconds.
Right. And we are going to get a unsportsmanlike conduct against Woodford County. Something on the sideline over there that side judge didn't like as Coach Johnson turns around and he's having a conversation with one of his assistant coaches, which, again, you're 5 seconds, but now you get out of the shadow of your own goal line.
Yeah, that's one of those stupid penalties. I'm just going to leave it at that. It should not be. You should never get penalized.
But they should, yeah. So you should wind the clock so you still don't have to make a play, which you don't. So here at the end of the first half from Pulaski County High School, it's homecoming night. Woodford County Yellow Jackets have came in and have not been the cordial guest. Leading this one 21-7 on the Randall D. Turpin CPA scoreboard. And as Mike mentioned, we're going to have an extended halftime. It'll be about 20 minutes. So we'll come back and we'll talk about a little bit of this, and a little bit of that, and a little bit of everything. But first of all, we're going to step out, and we will give you some individual stats, some team stats, and give you a first half rundown when we come back.
Everybody qualifies for a traditional mortgage. That's why the secondary market exists. It's there for down payment assistance, low down, no down payments, closing cost assistance, grant programs, Typically, there's no local point of contact for a secondary market loan. We're changing that whole process. That way, there's someone here to guide you through from application to clear to close and everything in between.
Best things in life never change. They just get better, like Hardee's Original Bag. Back and better than ever. Just $5.99. Mix and match any 2 full-size favorites. A juicy charbroiled double cheeseburger, melty hot ham and cheese sandwich, or crispy hand-breaded chicken tender wrap. Any 2 plus fries and a drink, all just $5.99. Hardee's Original Bag, loaded with handcrafted goodness. It's the greatest meal deal for your buck.
It's a great time to get your new F-150 at Alton Blakely Ford. The Ford F-150 redefines working remotely. There's a desk inside the cab, a tailgate work surface out back, and available Pro Power onboard to plug in what you need. Tough this smart can only be called F-150. And right now, get a no-charge leather package upgrade on every purchase of an F-150 XLT at Alton Blakely Ford.
And welcome back to Pulaski County. And welcome back to Pulaski County High School. It's homecoming, and we are back. A little anticipated. The homecoming celebration is going to be huge. They have got balloons in the center of the field. They've got the band. I'm going to leave that for a minute. Pulaski County, here's some stats that I'm going to tell you how they trail 21-7 here at halftime. 6 first downs. They rushed the ball 24 times for 118 yards. They're 0 of 5 through the air. That's right, 0 yards through the air. 29 plays, 118 yards. For Woodford County, get my chance to get these in front of me where we can see them. 41 yards on the ground on 9 carries. So they've got 9 for 41. Through the air, 13 attempts, 9 completions, 18 offensive plays, and they got 41 on the ground, 215 in the air. That's 256 yards of total offense on 18 snaps. So if you look at that, it's 118 to 256 in yardage. 11 first downs for Woodford County to Pulaski County's 5. That'll put you in a situation where Woodford County threw the ball for 215 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Wow.
Their individual stats are going to look a little bit like this. Crow had 2 rushes for 22. Shagog had 1 for 3. Wurzler, 3 carries for 0 yards. Basically all those were scramble sacks. Taylor, 3 carries for 16 yards. Through the air, Hodge had 1 catch for 2. Taylor had 2 for 19. Crow had 2 for 27. Smith had 2 for 18. Johnson had 2 for 53 and 2 touchdowns. And Joyner had 3 catches for 113 yards and a touchdown. Wurzler, as we gave you through the air, 13 attempts, 9 completions, 215 yards of total offense with 3 touchdown passes. A very impressive first half for Woodford County. We were told Woodford County would be tough against the run. They were. Pulaski carried the ball over 20 times to net 100 yards in the opening half, but where they shut Pulaski completely down is through the air, Chris. Pulaski County 0 of 5 through the air,
For 0 yards, you said.
0.5 through the air.
Wow.
They had one play that there was a holding penalty on, and there was a pass interference call against the defense, but no completed passes in the opening half. That's, if you're Pulaski, you have played against Beechwood, who's a pretty good football team. You played against Danville, and I'm going to leave that alone. The game against GRC, Pulaski's offense moved the football pretty well. This time, I don't know how you say this because it's not meant as an insult, but Woodford County's defense just basically said, we're going to face up on your wide receivers or your split wide receivers, and we're going to put 8 or 9 in the box and beg you to try to do anything about it. And so far, Pulaski couldn't find an answer.
Well, and here's the other thing. I mean, I described the coverage that they're using. I mean, they right now they're not worried about the Pulaski wide receivers beating them and getting over top. They are taking away the quick pass. They have taken away the screen pass. And when you do that, two things. Obviously, you're able to put extra men in the box and take away the run. But if you're on a run blitz, which they have been doing for most of the game, now you're bringing more than Pulaski can block, and so Anderson has no time to try to find a receiver.
Yeah, and again, I agree with you 100%. He hasn't had time to find receivers.
Right.
The receivers can't create separation against this press coverage, for lack of a better word. And right now, Pulaski's got to come up. Woodford's got another advantage. You can't get to the edge against this bunch. They've got plenty of speed to keep you from running and trying to get to the edge. So Pulaski's run game has all been between the tackles. And, 100 yards is not bad. But if you don't add anything to it on the passing game, and you don't break something out of the special teams, and you don't score on a defensive touchdown, you don't score many points.
Right. And so what Coach Burns, and I'm sure, they're obviously way smarter men in that locker room than me, are going to have to make an adjustment, because I'm sure Coach Johnson on his side are making an adjustment. They've been gouged up the middle. They've got blown off the ball. They're going to make adjustments to try to stop between the tackles. PC has to counter with trying to get the ball on the edge, and they're going to have to get the ball down the field.
To my memory, there were no turnovers in the opening half. The ball was on the ground 2 or 3 times, but nobody lost possession. So you had a half that had 8 total penalties. That's not bad, most of them of the 5-yard variety. You had almost 400 yards of total offense between the two teams, which is, pretty normal. The key is, I think Pulaski's fortunate to be down 21-7.
I agree with you. Because
later in the half, Winsler missed Johnson a time or two over the middle that both looked like could have been scoring plays. And if you're Pulaski, like you said, you've got to make adjustments. You've got to have to do it in, and you find yourself down 21-7 on the Randall D. Turpin CPA scoreboard.
And, Mike, you gave the individual stats. I don't think that you gave a scoring rundown, so I'm going to let you quickly do that. So Woodford County came from Versailles and off the bus and in the end zone just that quick. At 11:01, that's 59 seconds of the first quarter, and they had a 23-yard touchdown pass as Wurzler would connect with one of his receivers for his first of 3, and the score would be 7-0 after the 4 PAT. They would get a stop. Woodford would get the ball back, and just 3 minutes and a second after that, Woodford County would find the end zone again, and this time on a big play by Amari Joyner. He would catch the pass from Ford, 76 yards, and the score would be 14-0 before you got your popcorn and your soda and found a seat. PC would realize that they were in the game, would get back in the game. Case and Brock, the first play after that, would take it 57 yards right up the middle and run away from the defense at the 7:47 mark. It would make it a 1-touchdown game after the Mounts PAT, 14-7. Then things kind of quieted down a little bit. We only had one score in the second quarter, and that was a quick one at 10:25 mark. Wetzlar would find Joyner again from 30 yards out, and after the Ford PAT would be 21-7. And at halftime on the Randall D. Turpin CPA scoreboard, that's where we find ourselves. Woodford leads 21-7.
Go ahead. Somerset's ahead at halftime.
I had 14-14.
Okay. You've got one more recent than I do then, so it's tied.
So
Mercer 3-0 over Southwestern at the half.
Yes.
Is that what you've got?
Yes. So 3 good ball games going on around town right now.
Yeah, I thought this one, you made the comment, and I agreed with you fully. This thing was 21-7 in a heartbeat. And I thought track meet all night long, and it turned out after that was pretty much the scoring here in the opening half. But it seemed, and again, you sit back after you watch one of these, and if you sit back and watch the replay, you're going, how did that thought get in my head? But it seemed to me like Woodford County was threatening to score every time I looked up. They were in the end of the field where they could make something happen, and Pulaski had 4 or 5 drives start inside their own 5-yard line.
So we just had our home, Miss Kendall.
I give up. You got it?
Got the homecoming queen for here at Pulaski County, homecoming 2024. So that young lady gets their crown adjusted.
There's a young man doing work right there. The crown about fell off. Good job, young man.
So we are at homecoming here at Pulaski County High School, and we still have about 8 minutes. I was actually a quicker homecoming than normal, but we've got some time. So, Mike, let's talk about college football for just a second.
All right.
Kentucky, playing the number 1 team in the country last week, had a chance to win the ball game.
You had to bring this up.
Had a chance to go for the win. I don't say they win the ball game. I had a chance. You had a field goal kicker that on that last drive, before that last drive, on the night, he was 5 for 5, I believe, on field goal attempts. He had, I'm sorry, let me back up. He was
4 for 4, right?
Well, I had a thought in my mind, but it eluded me. But I'm going to get it right because I wanted to make sure that I got it right. He was 4 for 4.
Right.
He'd made a 55-yarder.
Right.
You have an opportunity to get 8 yards on 4th down, and if you don't gain another yard, you have a chance for him to kick a 50-plus yard and win the game.
I'm with you.
You punt it, I'll leave it at that. But that was a big game, so the Wildcats will...
Let's don't quit yet.
Okay, you go.
You and I have been in locker rooms. We've been in locker rooms of many sports over the years.
That's my worry.
And I know a whole lot of things, that are in the back of my head. And when I sense that the coach didn't have the nerve to give us the chance to go out and beat the number 1 team, he chose to take we'll punt it, we'll hold them, we'll do something dramatic at the end. That's forgetting the fact that Georgia's best football team in the country, or one of the best.
They got knocked from the number 1 spot.
And they were looking to not get beat, okay? They were concentrating, and they knew they were 1 first down away from not getting beat. Let's just be candid. And when the coach says we're going to punt, I know if I'm on offense, I'm going unreal. And if I'm on defense, I'm saying, wait a minute, we just played this bunch even for this long, and you're not going to give me a chance to win this football game? I don't know. It's a tough call. It's not. I don't make $9 million a year to second guess coaches.
Right.
It's just the kind of thing that I look for almost a hangover effect tomorrow for Kentucky, where
that's what I'm worried about.
Maybe they come out ready to play, and maybe they don't.
So around NCAA tomorrow, there are some bigger games that I'll be tuning into, just to talk about them, touch on them real quickly. The Trojans come from California into the Big House. So Michigan has welcomed Texas and now USC, and they have not looked good this year. So they're looking to try to get out of that with a quarterback change. Florida and Mississippi State, 2 teams in the SEC that are usually the top of the board will look for a turning point victory.
Who are you going to fire first?
Right, exactly. So they're already talking about who the next Florida coach is going to be. UCLA makes the trek from California down to Baton Rouge and will take on the Tigers, who had a big win last week against South Carolina. Just up the road from here, Louisville will be hosting Georgia Tech. And Louisville has showed a lot of firepower leading into the season or into this game. Then you've got Utah and Oklahoma State, who are two top 15 teams in the country. Normally you don't have that. And then a big one down in Oklahoma. Oklahoma, a new member of the SEC. They'll be hosting one of the better offenses in the country in Tennessee.
Tennessee by 70. Did Kevin find out who that is?
Colton Kane.
Colton Kane. He started at linebacker for part of the year, and he's wearing 44.
I thought we had Colton Kane was one of our captains. Was he not?
Oh, I don't know.
59, but that's what we're being told. So
we'll go with it. I haven't noticed a 59, but when we introduced him, I thought we did.
Look now, but so Colton Kane,
Kevin.
give him that young man. We've called his number. He's had a good game tonight, but the jersey change. We weren't aware of.
Sometimes seriously, you end up with a jersey change just because a kid, a little blood on the jersey. Anything can happen but we're going to go with that for the rest of the half.
Right. So
we're
Colton
getting ready.
Kane
I tell you what, the band's cranking, but we're going to give them a break. We're going to take a brief time out. We'll be back. Get you ready for the second half kickoff here on Lake Cumberland Sports coverage of high school football.
Here at Citizens National Bank, we still take pride in treating each and every customer like we would want to be treated. Our employees are here to help you navigate the confusing lending process and determine which type of home loan best suits you. Schedule an appointment today. We have highly qualified loan officers ready to serve you.
Out here in the real world, we've spent too much time waiting around and wondering if we'll ever get to be what we really want to be. Now it's time to move forward, and with a little help from Somerset Community College, you can finish that degree or start a whole new life as an IT VIP, a healthcare hero, and more in less time and for less money than you think. The time is now. The place is here. Never underestimate you.
Best things in life never change. They just get better, like Hardee's Original Bag. Back and better than ever. Just $5.99. Mix and match any two full-size favorites. A juicy charbroiled double cheeseburger, melty hot ham and cheese sandwich, or crispy hand-breaded chicken tender wrap. Any two plus fries and a drink, all just $5.99. Hardee's Original Bag. Loaded with handcrafted goodness. It's the greatest meal deal for your buck.
Okay, go.
Welcome back to homecoming night here at Pulaski County High School, as both teams have made their way out of the locker rooms and going through the 3-minute additional warm-up. So we're about a little over 3 minutes away from bringing you second half action. But, Mike, we talked about just a little bit. What kind of adjustments do you look for from Coach Burns' team here in the second half to try to slow down this offense that has pretty much done what they wanted to do?
Well, I'm about to show my ignorance, and I've been around this game a long time. Think I understand a little bit about the passing game, but I'm about to show you some ignorance. With the safety playing at 6 yards or whatever he is off the line of scrimmage, and there's nobody else in the middle of the field, is the slant not begging to be thrown?
Well, that's what I was talking about the coverage that they're playing right now. Woodford County has got the safety up. They've taken. He's not even in the equation, but the corner or safety, the safety who is playing on the slot man is playing 4 or 5 yards on the inside shoulder off of him, and so the fly pattern, the flag pattern, the post pattern, all of those are in play, but they're taking away the slant.
So for me to beat you out of that defense, I've got to throw over the top, down the sideline. And I can see it difficult because you got a quarterback who's not completed a pass. So you'd like to get him a couple easy throws.
Well,
but what are those right now?
Right. Well, so what you have to do, because you have to draw the safety on up and think that it is a run. What I'm looking to do is I'm looking to send the inside slot receiver down the field.
Hey, man.
And then I'm looking to bring the outside receiver on a in route, maybe get a pick or a screen or whatever you want to call it, try to rub that defender off. And then you should, at that point, have open field, and you'll have one of your speedier players on your team in Denmeyer one-on-one on a crossing route, and I think you can have some success with that. At least that's what my eyes up here see, and it's a lot easier up here than it is down there sometimes. But you have coaches in the booth, though.
You know, we talked about quarterbacks and changing the quarterbacks, and I'm not suggesting that in this game. But let's do a shout-out for Kai Sharon.
Yes, sir.
Announced this week that he would be the starting quarterback at Tennessee Martin this weekend. And, you sure hope. I'm thinking I know exactly what you're – we ran that in the backyard. You let the fast guy on the inside go deep, and then the other guy cuts off his butt toward the middle of the field. But I'm just curious at what they can come up with because they're only down 14 points.
Right, and get the ball.
And they get the ball. So it's not like it's, oh, my.
Yeah, so you real quickly, and I do have
a score on a game that probably of little interest to some, but it is a district game. South Laurel is ahead of Estill County 20-0 at halftime. I don't have a north score. I'm trying to get somebody to help me with that one.
But you talk about Kai Sharon. Now, he came into the game last week in a game where they were down, and Kai was able to lead them on a couple of drives. He had a very efficient night and able to come away with a victory. And they opened up conference play this week at home. I believe it's against Southwest Missouri State, and Kai will be under center. It will be his second collegiate start of his career. He started one game at UK last year.
Well, I wish him well.
So, back to high school football. We're 21-7. And Logan Ford has got the ball on the tee. We have both teams on the field. We have striped shirts on the field. And we have...
Don McClain is singing American Pie. I think we're ready to go.
Winston Ford back deep to receive it at his goal line. And this will be the second half Entrust Healthcare kickoff.
Who's number 44 out there?
44 is Colton Kane.
On the kickoff team. We're just using that one again.
And so
waiting on the official.
Well, we're waiting on the clock to run down. We finally got it down to 4 zeros.
Here
we got
we
it reset,
go.
And Ford will pooch punt to the left side, and Wilden will give the fair catch at the, where'd it come down? 33-yard line is where the Maroons will take over their first possession of the second half, trailing this one 21-7 on homecoming night.
Got a guy who can kick it halfway home.
Well,
and that's 2 pooch kicks that I've seen.
I'm of the mindset that, hey, I'm not going to kick it to the most dangerous guy back there.
Okay, you're right. That's what they're thinking.
So bunch formation here to the near sideline. Anderson hands off to Brock. He does try to get to the perimeter, makes a man miss in the backfield, and will get all the way up to about the 41-yard line before he's brought down. So give him 7 on first down.
Stepped through a tackle at about the line of scrimmage. Like you said, turned it into a 7-yard gain.
Well, they're going to set it down at the 41, so they'll give him an additional yard and make it 2nd and 2.
Found him another one.
And content to...
Well, when neither team huddles, so it seems like 40 seconds is forever.
Right.
Off the play clock.
And we have a official's timeout to check on something as the umpire steps in and very quickly steps out of the way. So we'll reset the play clock. Now you got the bunch formation to the right side, and Anderson keeps it himself. And he rumbles up the middle close to midfield. Ball spotted at the 47-yard line. So give him a gain of 8.
That was a called run. I mean, he never looked either direction. There was something he was looking for in a formation, and obviously got what he was looking for.
Yep, and you got Colton Kane and Wilden in there ahead of Kason Brock, and Brock follows Colton Kane, number 44, on your roster.
Give him 5 the hard way.
Yeah, so it will bring up the Maroons just over midfield. Ball spotted at the 49-yard line.
Well, this drive started at about the 30, and Pulaski one first down, working on another one.
Same formation. 2 lead blockers. Brock off the right side. Again, the Pulaski County offensive line picking up the blitzes and just blowing the Yellow Jackets off the ball as they have most of the night. And Brock will pick up.
You're going to say short?
Just a little short, so it'll be 3rd and 1. And they check the big bodies out on this play as Ethan Idlewind will check in at a fullback ahead of Brock. Yellow Jackets show pressure. Brock off the right side, cuts back up to the middle. Will pick up the yardage needed for the first down, get to the 40-yard line, give him a gain of 4 on 3rd down.
Gives him 125 on the night on 20 carries.
So Finley stays in at wide receiver. Denmeyer stays in. Very lonely night for those 2 young men.
It's tough as a receiver, too, where the ball never comes your direction.
Right. Idlewind stays in. He will go to a slot back on the right side. Shotgun formation, a handoff to Brock. He makes one man miss in the backfield.
Still grinding.
Pushing and grinding. And he will pick up, going to be 6 or 7 on first down, Mike, before he is brought down by a host of Yellow Jacket defenders.
A swarm.
A swarm. Now, I know at the end of the game we have to give a offensive player of the game, a defensive player of the game, and a lineman of the game. And I know we are not supposed to give it to a unit or we look for one player, but this offensive line for the Maroons have done a outstanding job. Idlewind comes in motion. Anderson hands off to Brock. He gets hit by the linebacker, but 3 yards beyond the line of scrimmage, drags him down to the 26-yard line, and that will be another first down, giving good yardage.
7 or so.
Yeah, and so, I mean, this drive has been the Kason Brock show and the offensive line show. I cannot reiterate how well the offensive line is playing.
I remember one play down there, he stepped through a tackle on the line of scrimmage. The rest of it there has been cushion. The offensive line's getting the job done. A little discussion here.
So Denmeyer comes in motion, fakes it to Brock, and Anderson is looking down the field. He's got Denmeyer down there, and he is going to wrestle it away from the defender, and that will result in a 26-yard touchdown pass.
Well,
as you see it here on the replay, Denmeyer had to go up and over the defender and pulls it in.
Wow.
And that is what you call a big opening second half drive by the Maroons.
A little spectacular right there.
That's a big play.
No, huge.
I don't care who you are.
Well, need the extra point. Mounts to do the honors.
The kick is up, and it is good right down the middle. So at the 8:01 mark of the 3rd quarter, the Maroons are back in striking distance on the Ronald D. Turpin CPA scoreboard. Now just trail this by 7, 21-14.
Entrust Healthcare Counseling has made it their mission to be the trusted leader in promoting mental health in Kentucky for the last 23 years. We personalize your service to meet your needs, whether it be in your office, over the phone, or on your computer. Call Entrust at 606-676-5600. 505-646-0638 to get services started today from anywhere in Kentucky. You can always visit their Facebook page at Entrust Healthcare Counseling Services to learn more about how they can help you or your family today. At Entrust, your mental health matters. That was a Citizens National Bank touchdown. And the Rick Barker red zone was violated during that.
Again.
All right, if you're Pulaski County, whatever it is you did at halftime worked first trip. You got yourself back into a one-score ball game.
So how's that for the first completion of the night, first passing touchdown of the night? You find Denmeyer 26 yards out.
That was a heck of a catch.
It really was.
Yeah, it was.
Defender had perfect coverage. And Idlewild will kick it down to the 20 or the 15-yard line where it will be fielded, and he's got a chance to go. He's up the right sideline. Idlewild tries to slow him down, and he does, and he's finally brought down
45 yards, though,
on the play. But that is a huge return that you think you're kicking it to the up man. That's Wyatt Peters on the return, and he took it at the 15-yard line, Mike, and he's going to get
I don't even have Peters on my depth chart.
Yeah, number 12, Wyatt Peters.
Yeah, I got you.
Cross midfield, and so the Yellow Jackets will start their first possession of the second half already inside Maroon territory.
Again.
3 receivers to the far side. Johnson here to the near side. That's not Johnson. That's Micaiah Smith. Johnson is up there on the
Play
top.
clock ran out.
Worksler
No call.
hands it off right up the middle, and the Maroon interior defense there. Finley, as well as Brody Johnson, Braden Ping, Ethan Idlewild.
The right guard for Woodford County got thrown in the middle of all that. He was not happy.
So no gain. I give him a short yard, but since we don't do half yardage, 2nd and 9.5. Wurzler takes the snap, drops straight back, looks out here to the near sideline, and he finds his receiver out here. That's Micaiah Smith, and that will be a gain of 6.
Smith has been, it's his 3rd catch for 24 hours. He's their leading playmaker. He's not done well. Johnson falls into that category too, but he has been rather quiet tonight.
Yeah. Amari Joyner has been the recipient of the 2 long touchdown passes, and I don't even see him in the game, Mike.
No, I don't either right now.
Wurzler brings Taylor in motion. Now he's finally, the Maroons dial up some pressure, and there on the sack is Bryston Brown along with Gunnar Lovelace, and you've not got pressure on Wurzler all night. Now you do, and you get a sack, and we'll get the ball back.
That was well done right there. That after the kick return looked like it, oh my. And now they're in 4th and long enough. They're probably definitely going to punt here.
Well, that and you have done exactly what you needed to do, was take away the big play. And here is another punt by Ford that hits at about the 15, and a dangerous play right there by Finley, but he's able to keep it from rolling inside the 1-yard line for the 3rd time tonight. And so the Maroons will take over on the 12-yard line.
Finley said, I've been yelled at all night for letting them roll all the way to the end zone. Played a pretty good shortstop there. Diving, stop in the hole, came up with a clean.
That's a tough play.
It is.
Ball rolling on the ground, end over end. It could go 6 different ways.
That ball is not round.
Right.
It's oval.
And that's when you talk to Coach Burns, that was a point of emphasis, was to come up and catch the punt.
Yep.
And they haven't done so tonight, but that one they worked. So Kason Brock started off the second half getting 6 carries in a row before the touchdown. This time they will try to get to the perimeter with
Ford?
Brock. No, that's Ford. Sorry, yeah, Ford is checked in, and Ford is going to be brought down for a loss of 2. So maybe you're thinking, hey, we'll get Ford in there, we'll spread them out. Maybe they won't be here for the run, and that just was not the case.
Brock may be begging for a break right now.
Yeah, he's played a lot of minutes in this
22
game.
carries and almost every snap on defense.
So 2 tight ends set, 2 receivers to the near side, Ford, and there's the play they have been having all their success with, Mike. It's just a trap right up the middle, and the running back goes up the A gap on the right side or the left side, and Ford is going to pick up what he lost plus 6, give him a gain of 8. It will bring up 3rd and manageable.
Yeah, that was a big run. You're right. It's
So shotgun formation this time. Anderson will give it to Brock around the left side. He gets some blocking out in front, finds a seam, will take it across the 25, up to about the 27-yard line. Well, that will be a gain of 7 on 3rd down and another first down for the Maroons.
5th first down of this 3rd quarter.
So right now, and we gave the numbers to begin the game. Woodford County on defense, Mike, and of course they're going against teams where they've got them behind, but they have only allowed 49 rushing yards a game.
At about 170 right now.
Anderson, snap, hangs off, hands it to Ford. He's fighting for some extra yards. He's going to pick up positive yards, but not much. You're going to give him 1. As Woodford it's a matter of pride right now, I believe. But again, I cannot give more credit to the offensive line than what I have seen from them tonight.
They standing there, hands on hips, waiting for the call. They're going to go back to work.
Ford stays in the game at running back. He will line up off the right shoulder of Anderson. Denmeyer goes in motion, fakes it to Ford. There's a quick pass out of wide, sneaks out of the backfield, makes a man miss, makes another man miss, rumbles across the 50-yard line. That's going to be a gain of about 24.
That's what I got.
And so Anderson had to get rid of the ball quickly, and he did. And it turns out to be a big play as he finds Idlewind in space. And a big first down for the Maroons.
Saw a couple pancakes on the back end of this back here, too. Had a couple of the defensive linemen face down.
So Gunnar Lovelace checks back in as the fullback. Ford stays in the game, and they just run it right off of the left guard, left tackle. And he is going to fight his way for 2 yards. 2nd and 8. And the other thing that this is doing, Mike, is you're keeping that offense off the field.
Yes, you are. Pulaski Lovelace came to the sidelines and got to go back.
No, hey, young man, go back out there. We're going to run it behind you again and see what happens. Play clock under 9. Anderson is still looking to the sideline. Finally gets the play call he wants. Brings Denmeyer in motion. Going to hand it off. No, it's an option, and Anderson keeps it himself. Is going to get down to about the 40-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 6 on 2nd down and bring up 3rd and manageable yet again as Colton Kane and Brock will check back in.
That also says to the defense you have to honor the quarterback.
That's right.
You keep it every now and then.
And that was a very good decision by Anderson to pull.
He had me for a second.
As Colton Kane and Lovelace line up in that power set again.
They almost jumped off sides. No flag, so they didn't.
Anderson now is going to make an adjustment as he tells his lineman. Hey, we're running to the left side. And Kason Brock just fights his way through and again gets into the secondary before he's brought down. And that's going to be a gain of 11 on 3rd and 3. And another Pulaski County first down.
That is the 7th first down in the 3rd quarter by Pulaski.
So if you are the defensive linebackers, defensive coach for the Yellow Jackets, right now you don't have an answer for what Pulaski is doing. And there is a mass of humanity of white jerseys within tackle to tackle, 9 guys, and they can't stop them. And here's a little kind of option pitch. I think the ball came out, Mike, and they're going to say it's a fumble. And a huge turnover right there because the Maroons were matriculating down the field and couldn't be stopped. And Brock puts it on the ground, and a big turnover right there by the Yellow Jackets.
Now, he had carried the ball 25 times up to that point. That time the ball just got jarred loose, and now Pulaski's defense, you've had a long rest, if nothing else.
Well, you did need that. So with 1:02 here remaining in the 3rd quarter, the Maroons trail 21-7. Had an opportunity to tie this one up. Wurtzler back in the shotgun. He will fake it and then throw it out here in the right flat.
Johnson.
To Johnson. He's going to say, well, that's Smith. At 3,
that's Smith.
That's Micaiah Smith.
My bad.
And he will get up across the 30 to the 31, gain of 13 on first down. So,
and again, they're back to spread the field, get a guy in space, and it worked.
Yep, and Amari Joyner is back on the field for the Yellow Jackets. He split out wide to the left. Wurtzler, the exact same play over here to Smith, and he lowers his shoulder before he's finally ran out of bounds and tackled on the play here on the sideline by Gavin Atwell and Braden Ping. He will only get 2, so they had so much success on the last play, they thought they'd run it again.
Why not?
The Maroons figured it out. Clock winds under a minute. Here in the 3rd quarter, 21-14 ball game. Maroons showing some pressure. And handoff given to Shagog. He gets around the left side, but the umpire throws the flag. And you know what that means?
I'm guessing holding.
Bring it back.
He would have been just short, I think, of the first down or right at the sticks, but not going to matter. It's going to be a hold.
So negate the 2nd down carry by Shagog. And
first penalty of the 2nd half.
So now second and 18 as the clock will wind again under 30 seconds. Wurtzler drops straight back, throws it out there, and your defender, I love what Idawine did right there, Mike. The pass was intended for Taylor. The ball goes up in the air. He doesn't know where it is, but Idawine was going to make sure that he did not find out where it was, and he leveled him out of bounds.
Just torqued him and said, "You'll not catch one going to the ground."
So, 2 things. Do you bring extra pressure right here on the defense? And if you're Woodford, do you look to go over top right here?
Yes, on the second one.
Wurtzler, shotgun formation. He drops straight back. Now he rolls to his right a little bit. He's under some pressure, gets flushed out to his left. Colton Kane is in coverage. And again, Wurtzler, and here comes a late flag. You're going to get a face mask for sure.
27
over there
yards on the pitch
Amari
and catch.
Joyner.
Yeah.
As Wurtzler's doing his best impression of some pretty good quarterbacks, slinging it sidearm, rolling out the opposite way, throwing it across his body, and finds a receiver enough for the first down, and they're going to tack on 15 for the face mask.
If you're Pulaski, there's never a good time for a penalty like that, but that one hurts.
Well, here's the crazy thing about that play, Mike. I mean, you had them 2nd and 18 inside their 30-yard line.
Yep.
Now they are all the way down to your 30-yard line. I mean, that's a huge
That's why when
turnaround.
you ask me, do you go over the top, my answer is yes. They have that ability.
So what should be the last play of the third quarter, Taylor comes in motion, stands by Wurtzler. He's going to hand it off to Wyatt Crow around the left side. He'll pick up close to 6 before he is dragged down on the play over there by Colton Kane and Braden Ping. And that will bring us to the end of the third quarter on the Randall D. Turpin CPA scoreboard. On homecoming night, the Maroons trail the Yellow Jackets with the Harvest Moon in the background, 21-14.
Toyota of Somerset, we're known for great service before and after the sale and so much more. Since 1988, Toyota of Somerset has been supporting our local communities. And we sell and service what a number of different rating services call the most fuel-efficient, dependable, and safe vehicles on the road. Toyota. Toyota of Somerset, South Highway 27 Somerset, and online at toyotaofsomerset.com. At Toyota of Somerset, we're all about you.
Here to come in 175-100, here to come in 175-2. I 200 down, got it here to come in a quarter.
Like successful sports programs, putting together a successful auction takes a lot of planning, organization, attention to detail, and teamwork. And you need dedicated and committed people pulling together. At Ford Brothers Auctioneers, we've been successfully selling the country since 1965. Ford Brothers Auctioneers. Give us a call or visit us online at FordBrothersInc.com.
Ford Brothers Auctioneers, we're selling the country.
And welcome
go ahead,
back.
partner.
No, you go ahead.
No.
I was jumping
Tell
the gun.
them what that is we're looking at up there.
Well, it
was
was
the moon.
the Harvest Moon, and I stepped all over you. I'm sorry.
That's all right. You had me wanting to dance is what it was.
Jump around.
Jump around. Let's
So
play.
second and short yardage, handoff given to Wyatt Crow, and he picks his way across the 20 down to about the 15. And Mike, this is only the second time in the ball game that either team has been in the Rick Barker red zone.
Everybody else is just paying rent, just flying through. The snap was horrible, and the catch by the quarterback saved a terrible situation. And kid's a good athlete.
So first and 10 from the 15. 7-point ball game, just beginning of the fourth quarter. And Wurtzler looks to pull it out and hit Amari on a slant. And he had him open, and he threw a bullet. And I'm not sure who, the defensive lineman who got his hand up, but he had a better chance catching it than Joyner did.
He'll be able to show you after the game.
I promise you. That was a
leave
bullet.
a mark.
Wow.
Well, you've got to stop 2 more of those at least.
So second and 10. Wurtzler's got 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Keeps Crow in the backfield, fakes it to him, throws the quick pass out here to Joyner. He makes his way inside the 10 down to about the 7?
Maybe 7-8 yard line.
7-yard line. So give him a gain of 7 on second down. Brings up 3rd and 3.
Joyner now 5 catches for $147 and a touchdown. He's had a nice night.
So Smith wide to the right side. He's got Godby in single coverage out there. Wurtzler in the backfield. Takes the snap. Keeps it himself around the left side, and he is going to make one man miss, and he's going to take it in from 8 yards out. And Woodford County goes back out by 2 touchdowns.
Well, Wurtzler, we've seen it all night. We know what an athlete he is. He has not run the ball to speak of. I had him with 4 carries for them, but those were sacks. Those were yardage situations, but that's nets him 8. And I'm not sure they got a hand on him.
No, he got around the left side, and there was a defender that dove at him, but he was not able to get a hand on him, as the extra point by Logan Ford is up and good. And so, again, that's 3 times, once in the first quarter, once in the second quarter, and here in the fourth quarter, that Woodford has struck quickly, extends the lead out to 28-14.
This is our Buffalo Wings and Rings video game of the week. Be sure to watch the game of the week here on Lakeland Sports. And our next video broadcast next week will be Lincoln County at Somerset. We invite you to join us for that one. Wings created your way, always fresh, never frozen. Once again, our official photography sponsor, the Don Franklin Somerset family of dealerships. I want to thank them for helping sponsor our sports all year round. And again, they are the ones who bring you the pictures, Nick and others who post those, and we can't ask for any better. You can find any of their 5 Somerset locations. Go to Facebook at Don Franklin Somerset Family of Dealerships, where they will treat you like family. Well, if you're Pulaski, there's all kinds of clock time, but with this offense that they're running right now, 4 or 5 minute drives are the norm if you're going to score points.
Yeah, and the turnover there on the last drive.
Yep. First one either way tonight, by
right.
the way.
And here is a waffler kick that is picked up on one hop by Ford, and he will take it up to the 29-yard line. So a return of about 19, and the Maroons will take over.
Ford busted the long 60-plus yarder. He's approaching 100 yards in returns. He's had a good night in that part of the game.
Well, the problem with that is in order for you to get all those returns, you've had to give up.
The other team scoring points. That's
Right.
what you're about to tell me. All right.
And Anderson will bring the offense on the field. He's got a bunch formation here to the near side. Brock in the backfield. Anderson rolls to his right, looking to pass. He's got a man wide open. That's Denmeyer up to the 50, down to about the 46-yard line, and that should be a gain of about 24.
Denmeyer down to the 46-yard line of Woodford County. That is
So, again, Anderson's not been able to stand back in the pocket with a whole lot of time, but he roll him out there away from the pressure, get him in some space, give him some time to find his receiver. Now they flip the formation to the left, and he rolls to the left. He's looking down there again. He's got Wilden behind the defenders. The defender fell down at about the 30, and he just overthrew him.
Yeah, Wilden had a couple steps, but airmailed him.
So 2nd and 10. And so I'm just curious to see if the Maroons line up in this same formation, if Coach Johnson doesn't dial up some pressure from the trips side and tries to stop that roll out action. And he's going to hand it off this time to Winston Ford, and the Yellow Jackets did bring pressure but brought it up the middle this time, and Ford's going to be thrown down for a loss of 4 on the carry. And we'll bring up 3rd and 14.
Couldn't tell, was that the safety or the linebacker? He came like a bullet.
Yeah, he comes shooting up, and that was, if I'm not mistaken, that was Sturgis, who I mentioned at the beginning of the game, playing that middle linebacker spot. Haven't called his name a bunch tonight.
That was a huge play right there.
So Sturgis is up there again. Well, no, he's outside over there. 2 receivers both ways. Anderson drops straight back. He's got some time. He's looking for Denmeyer down the field.
He got pushed.
Yeah, there was a little bit of jostling by both players as Denmeyer tried to do the old push off and catch it, and the defender back there in Peters had hands on him as well. And
yeah, the good thing is I can watch that again later.
You can, and see.
You can too if you wish to see our games at any time later. They're there.
So that brings up a 4th and 14. And the Maroons are forced to go for it here, down 2 scores in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
And while they have stopped the Yellow Jackets, they've not stopped them near enough. And so now we're going to get a timeout called by Coach Johnson, and that will be the first timeout of the second half, first timeout by the Yellow Jackets in the second half. It's a Ron Shaw Realtor timeout on the Randall D. Turpin CPA scoreboard. The Maroons on homecoming night trail this one 28-14.
When a loved one faces a serious illness, it can feel overwhelming, but you're not alone. Hospice of Lake Cumberland is here to provide comfort, support, and dignity. Our team of experts focuses on pain management, emotional support, and helping your family navigate this difficult time. We believe in celebrating life, even in its final chapters. Let us help you create moments of peace and connection. Hospice of Lake Cumberland, compassionate care when it matters most. I think Kevin has sent me some scores. If I would just pay attention, I can catch you up on some things. Obviously, here it's 28-14 Woodford. Southwestern leads 14-10 in the fourth quarter over Mercer County. Somerset and Campbellsville tied up at 14 in the third quarter, so that's pretty much what I know from around the world of sports.
Yeah,
partner?
No.
This is in the grand scheme of things, this is a big play.
It's pretty important.
Yeah, this is almost huge.
So 4th and 14 from right at midfield. Takes it to Brock. Brock looks to pick up the blitzer, and Woodford County brought two of them, and that will be a big sack as you had both your middle linebackers coming, Davion Sturgis and Bodie Darland, and that will go down as a 10-yard loss sack. I bragged on this offensive line all night. And they brought more than the offensive line could block.
And you've got a backer, you've got a back in the backfield that he's one man and two have come clean. There is no way you stop that.
Right. I mean, you brought both middle linebackers. Anderson was able to avoid the first one, but not the second one. So now Woodford will line up in a little more of a power set and hand the ball off to Crow as he's running here to the left side. He gets around the edge before he gets hog-tied and drugged down by
but he got 5 on first down, and they're already in 4-down territory. So if you're Woodford, well, he got 5 till they took that one away from him. He got 4.
Colton Kane and Kason Brock in there on the tackle. And, yeah, you're right. So they only gave him 4, 2nd and 6.
Well, the original spot gave him 5.
Hey, and Woodford County huddling up.
Yeah, I mean, there ain't no hurry.
Right. And you're 8 minutes and 38 seconds in a 28-14 ball game. Maroons showing some pressure and almost
the clock's at 0. No, the clock's been at 0 for
and they're going to get the delay of game. Tried to get the Maroons to jump. And that's, if I'm not mistaken, that's at least the third delay game. Now, one of them was on a punt right before halftime they really didn't care about.
And that one, I'm not sure why even the sidelines, again, doesn't call a timeout there, because these 5 yards could be valuable.
Well,
what do I know?
And since the clock was dead, it doesn't restart.
You weren't gaining anything.
So Maroons showing pressure again. Both outside linebackers come up. They do go, but they're both picked up, and Crow is able to get first down yardage. You're going to give him 11 before he gets brought down there on the tackle by Cohen Finley coming up from his safety spot. And
17 first downs on the game for Woodford County.
So Woodford just trying to salt this one away.
Well, they're showing that, they can score over the top and they can spread you out. But right now, showing you a little run game.
Which they've not had tremendous success with tonight.
They've only got about 75 yards total on the ground.
Taylor comes in motion, hands it to Crow back to the left side, and there the defense is there again as 3 maroon jerseys roll off the pile. Bryston Brown there on the tackle, as well as Braden Ping and Colton Kane. No gain on first down. 2nd and 10. Ball sets at the 29-yard line. Woodford gets out of the running formation. But Taylor comes in motion. They ran out of this all night too, which they will again. He hands it off to Wyatt Crow, and he is brought down. Now, it's got to be a hold because the offensive lineman for Woodford County got a great takedown. Good tackle by that young man. And they'll call the penalty. So there was no gain on the play. So do you accept the penalty or do you decline it?
I turn it down.
Yeah. So a loss of 1, loss of 2 brings up 3rd and 12.
It's 3rd down.
The other thing they can do, though, is they have 25 seconds to milk here if they choose to do it.
Yeah, clock becoming the enemy of the Maroons. 6 minutes, 31 seconds remaining here in the fourth quarter, trailing 28-14. Wertzler will send Taylor all the way across the formation this time. Rolls that way. He's looking. He's still looking. And there's a big gap. He turns it up. Gets all the way down inside the 5-yard line. So that's going to be a gain of 25 on 3rd and 9. And it's 1st and goal. And the Yellow Jackets are set up in the Rick Barker red zone.
And they're going quick.
And they're ready to go. And they're going to fake it. Wertzler's going to keep it himself. He's getting chased down out there by Idlewild, and Idlewild will trip him up.
He'll lose a couple.
He will lose 2 on the play. So Ethan.
Wow. You explained something to me. You know, I'm always begging you for help. Why you go fast right there?
Well, Coach Johnson, you saw him after the big gain. He felt like, hey, we've got him on the ropes. Okay. Let's go ahead and get the score here, and let's make it a 3-score game.
I'll take 40 seconds off the clock.
So Wertzler high step. He one hand grabs it, hands it off to Wyatt Crow off the right side, and Crow's going to be stopped for no gain on the play as Gunnar Lovelace in there to make the initial contact. And
Woodford's still under 100 yards on the ground in this game on 20-plus carries. So Pulaski's done an excellent job in the run game. The 260 that's on the board in the passing game is
the difference in the game.
That's where the pain is right now. Yeah.
So 3rd and goal from just inside the 5-yard line. Wertzler will have Crow lined up off his left side. He's looking to pass. He's looking to the right side and throws that's a rocket launcher.
Is that to Johnson? Is that 7 finally back on the field?
I
can't tell.
It's either 1 or 7. I'm like you. I can't tell. I believe it is 7. I believe that's Jalen Johnson. And it was just too high even for that athlete.
Too hot.
Incomplete.
Too handle.
Too high, too hot.
Too handle.
And so Coach Johnson will send on the kicking unit, Logan Ford, who's 3 for 3 on the year.
Somebody said in the opener that this might be important.
21-yard field goal attempt. Good snap, good hold. Kick is up, and it is good. And so here with, what's that say, 5? I'm in the corner. 5 minutes and 12 seconds here in the fourth quarter. The Yellow Jackets add on a field goal and now lead this one 31-14 on the Randall D. Turpin CPA scoreboard.
You all right, partner?
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Lake Cumberland Orthopedics, Dr. Jesse Pace and Dr. Patrick Jenkins of Lake Cumberland Orthopedics. Sports medicine for athletes of all levels, from the weekend warrior to the professional. At Lake Cumberland Orthopedics, our goal is to get each patient back to the highest level of physical activity possible. We're proud to support local athletics by serving as team physicians for Lindsey Wilson College, Southwestern, Somerset, Pulaski, and Wayne County High Schools, and other athletes throughout the Lake Cumberland area. See the good folks at Lake Cumberland Orthopedics, and we're about ready to go. And Pulaski is not in dire straits. If they're down 17, they've got to find a way to put some points on the board in a bit of a hurry.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to kick that little poocher again so we don't worry about a guy running one back.
Well, I don't know. Last time he kicked the little waffle kick down
I'd
there.
kick it to Lexington if I was him, but that's me.
And Ford was able to bring it back. And this time it's going to be a end-over-end kick that Wilden will field and give his best drop to the floor. I mean, he went down like he'd got. Well, I'm not going to say. Yeah, it's probably
don't say
not,
that.
Yeah,
No,
it's probably not a good. I was going there too, but
we can't say that right now.
After what's been going on over in Eastern Kentucky, and we thoughts and prayers go out to those families over there that dealt with that tragedy. But from the news from this week, they have found the individual they believe was involved in that, and the kids going back to school. So we're glad that one is behind us. But there's been a lot of other craziness in the state of Kentucky in the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, we're proving how crazy we are right now.
Wow. So Anderson from the shotgun, he'll roll to the right. He's looking down the field. He's got Denmeyer behind the coverage, and he goes up and makes another really good catch behind the defender. And that will end up being a gain of 40,
41, somewhere in that neighborhood.
And the safety who has been in coverage, and that's Wyatt Peters, is slow to get up, and he's going to hobble to the sideline. Denmeyer didn't look spry when he got up, but big.
There's one thing about it. He has shown that he can take the top off of the zone. When that, maybe Pulaski is going to have to go to this more open passing game.
And has went up and over
again
the defenders a couple of times. Anderson this time drops straight back. He's under pressure, avoids the sack, and he's throwing down there. He's got a defender down or a receiver down there. A lot of contact, but no flag. Will Adams is intended receiver.
That ball was in the air for a day and a half.
A long time.
Now as a quarterback, this is when you're trying to make plays, and this is where sometimes things, what you got?
Incomplete pass. The clock continued to run, so they're going to have to come over here and do a clock adjustment.
Oh, I got you. The thing I'm looking at is you've got a quarterback out there, and some people say, well, he threw a pick late in the game. He did this, he did whatever. Right now, you're trying to make a play, and you're squeezing, you're putting the ball where it doesn't necessarily want to go. And if you're Pulaski, you've got to take shots right now. You can't try to run the football into the end zone.
So trip formation to the right. Anderson drops straight back. Now he's flushed and rolls to the right. Gives a double clutch, trying to find his intended receiver, and there's a flag down. So Brock was out here in the flat. We're going to get a hold or a pass interference.
Oh, it's a hold. Oh, well, it's shown as a defensive holding. But.
Right. So that'll be 10 yards and should be a first down, and we'll set the Maroons up first and 10 inside the Rick Barker red zone.
That's 75 yards in penalties against Woodford County.
Going to have to shore that up. Bunch formation again here to the near side. As
I've got offside.
Is out there by himself, and they're going to get, how about the 80th yard penalty against Woodford County?
Let's see, 75. Yep, that's 80. Well, if you're Pulaski, you take these. No clock time being involved, and you're moving closer toward trying to get back within. They trail by 17. The hill is huge.
4:28 remaining in the game. Woodford County tries to get some fresh bodies in there. Anderson rolling out to his left. Now he gets some pressure from the backside, reverses field. He's looking, and he is going to find his receiver at the goal line. They're going to say it's incomplete, but a flag come flying in late from the back judge.
Yeah, you may have Pulaski may get called for the blind block right here. Let's wait and see what I saw, if it's what I think I saw.
You are going to get block in the back on the Maroons. So you've got your quarterback scrambling. Looks like he's going to run the ball. He pump fakes it. So, I mean, it's a penalty, but it's an effort penalty.
Oh, sure.
I will take that.
Yeah, that's
other than the block in the back.
That's not good.
No.
But it happens.
So 1st and 15 now from just outside the Rick Barker red zone. Denmeyer comes in motion from left to right, fakes it to Brock. Anderson is in a world of trouble, and there's another flag as the pass was intended for Godby. He had got behind the defender, and they're going to get a pass interference. So here's my take. And again, too little, too late, and it's easy for me to sit up here. The Maroons ran the ball very effectively tonight. They're in passing situations now where they have to throw the ball, and they're putting pressure on this Woodford County secondary. Knowing what I know now, what I didn't know then, I would have thrown the ball a little bit more early on, maybe try to loosen up this defense. But now you've got 1st and 5. Anderson rolls out, looking to pass. Tuck and run. Yeah, he had all kinds of room. He finally does. He gets spun down inside the 5, down to about the 1 or 2, Mike. So that will be 1st and goal at the 1-yard line. So when Anderson got outside the pocket, he had nothing but green turf in front of him.
Woodford's got too many on the field.
Yeah, and the Maroons are in a hurry, and before they could get the snap,
timeout,
I believe that Woodford is going to call their second timeout. So here with 4 minutes and 12 seconds remaining in this one, Woodford leads 31-14, but the Maroons are knocking on the goal line.
Last scores that we had, Somerset and Campbellsville's tied at 14. Obviously, Woodford's ahead 31-14 here late. And Southwestern was ahead of Mercer 14-10. And that was about 11 minutes to go in that one. So those are the updates. During the Alton Blakely post-game show, we'll try to get you caught up on everything that's going on. This has been a crazy football game. That's two good football teams we're watching there, may I say. In Woodford County, I heard a lot of people said a lot of negative things about their schedule and who they'd played and whatever, but they have got a stable of athletes. I mean, they've got 3 different receivers that could be a lead receiver on any team in Johnson and Smith and Joyner.
And any time that you have Wurtzler,
he's dangerous.
He really is. So 1st and goal from the 1. Kason Brock will line up in the Wildcat formation, and he has got Colton Kane and Broderick Finley in front of him, and Kason will go in untouched from 2 yards out to make it 31-20, pending the extra point. It looks like Coach Burns is going to go for 2 right here, Mike.
Needs to, because, again, you're down 11. If you get 2 here, you're down 9. No, I'm not sure why you do.
Right.
I'm sorry. I back off on the math.
Yeah, I don't. It's one of those situations where if you look at the sheet, you don't go for 2 right here. Because if you don't get it, you're still down 2 scores.
Yeah.
If you do get it, you're still down 2 scores.
With you.
Brock will take it off the left side, and he will walk in untouched. So they do get the 2-point conversion. So with 4 minutes and 9 seconds remaining in this one, the Maroons find themselves trailing by 9 on homecoming night, 31-22.
Well, I don't know if we mentioned that Pulaski blew through the Rick Barker red zone.
We did.
On the way to that Citizens National Bank touchdown. Remind you, Somerset Community College Offensive Player of the Game to follow this. We also will present the Promo Lawn Service Lineman of the Game. And not sure, again, forgot to read the Sassy Spoon Catering. Make your next event unforgettable with Sassy Spoon Catering. Will specialize in crafting fresh, great-tasting food that will delight your guests. From elegant wedding receptions to dynamic corporate events, intimate parties to casual picnics, and productive business luncheons, Sassy Spoon Catering has the perfect menu to elevate your occasion. Let us handle the food so you can focus on the fun. Call Sassy Spoon Catering today and taste the difference. We'll also have I've got 2 linemen of the game. We'll sort that out in a minute.
Southwestern leads with 1:35 to go in that game, 28-10.
I'm going to take Southwestern to get their first win of the season.
Yep, they started off slow, but they have found their offense in the second half and have reeled off 28 straight. So I would assume we're going to have the onside kick here as Idlewild will top it, and the hands team there for the Yellow Jackets.
Can I say that hurts the ribs all the way up here?
That does. Micaiah Smith
Yeah.
feels it right at the 49-yard line. He gets hit.
Knees in the belly.
Yeah. So Pulaski has all 3 timeouts, if I'm not mistaken.
They do.
4 minutes to go in this. When you trail by 9, you have to get a stop or a turnover and score quickly and get the ball back again. So a lot of work to be done in this one, but the opportunity is there. Wurzler in shotgun. Maroons bring all kinds of pressure, and they leave the receiver out here. That's Joyner, who's been real quiet since the first quarter, but he's going to pick up 7 on first down.
Yeah, he's got 154 in the bank on the night, so yeah, pretty good night.
Half of that came on one play.
That's correct.
76-yard touchdown pass.
That was early in this.
That was at the 8:02 mark of the first quarter.
We were just getting settled in.
So 2nd and 3. Clock winds real close to being under 3 minutes, and we'll get there by the time this play's over with. Wurzler waits for all of it. He's going to give it to his running back in Crow.
Crow's been the leading ball carrier in the game. He's 11 carries for 61 yards. But right now the game plan is hang on to the football.
Swallowed a bug.
You okay?
Yeah.
I'm worried about my partner.
Getting some protein.
Bugs.
Jeez, oh Pete. I mean, anyway, 3rd and 2.
Well, you said they had to have a stop. It's got to come here, right here.
Right here. 2:43 on the game clock, and they're going to get a
false start, left guard,
which will back them up.
All right, the number that Woodford County doesn't want to hear, that's 100 yards and penalties on the game.
So now you go from 3rd and 2 to 3rd and 8.
Yeah, but the clock runs.
Right, so
25
you get the
seconds.
penalty, but you give them a free at least 20 seconds.
Yeah, there's where you've got to choose whether you waste, and I say that word graciously, waste a timeout. But if you're Woodford County, you take it to the bottom right here.
So 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. There's a little bit of confusion.
Timeout.
And Coach Johnson
Woodford
is
County.
not happy. And he calls his 3rd timeout and his 3rd and final timeout. That's the Ron Shaw Realtor timeout. Randall Turpin CPA scoreboard. We're under 2 minutes, Mike. 1:52. Maroons trail it by 9, 31-22.
What would have made you think that Coach Johnson was a little bit bent at that call? Promo Lawn Service, lineman of the game to be upcoming. Tired of battling weeds and overgrown grass? Promo Lawn Service is here to tackle your yard so you can relax and enjoy it. We offer expert mowing, trimming, edging, hedge trimming, and even specialized yard treatment to keep your lawn looking its absolute best. Pro Lawn Service, your lawn's MVP. Call today for a free quote and experience the difference. Partner?
Yes, sir.
It's been a pretty good football game. Woodford, how do I assess them? They throw it a lot better than I thought they would. Their athleticism I expected, and they don't rely on the run game near as much as I thought they might.
Well, so 3rd and 8, you would think a passing down. If you can get an incompletion here, you get a free stoppage of the clock. So do you pass it or do you run it and force PC to call a timeout?
I don't throw it.
Yep, and they quarterback keep it, and he is going to be Well, he gets turned back inside, still fighting for yards, but he is going to be finally corralled there on the play.
Now Pulaski's got to take a timeout.
Gunnar, Lovelace, and Brock. He's going to pick up 4 on third down. We'll bring up 4th and 4 at the 45, and we do have the Ron Shaw Realtor timeout. So the Maroons get the stop they needed.
Well, again, it's 4th down, and if they don't punt the football here, I don't have a clue why you wouldn't punt the football.
Well, now we had a similar situation up at UK last weekend, and the team. And I'm going, Anyway, now this situation, I'm punting it.
Yes, without a doubt.
That situation, I'm going for it.
Absolutely. You know, where you are on the scoreboard and time and everything else matters, but they're up 2 scores.
Let it go, let it go. I need to watch Frozen again, I guess, but.
I think my man's into the background music. He's singing along with what's going on.
And Coach Johnson does send out the punt unit as Ford.
Pulaski has got 1 man back, so this has got to be sell out and go get the punter, but doesn't look like they're going to.
No, because the athlete that Ford has shown that he is, he's going to just pop it up in the air and allow his defense to get down there, but Finley does a good job, calls a fair catch, comes up to the 21 yards and field it. So, Mike, you're 79 yards away. You need 2 scores. You have 2 timeouts left in a 9-point ball game with under 2 minutes to play.
We're in a tight spot, is what you're trying to say. That's well, if you're Pulaski County, I mean, there's no room for error right here, and somewhere in this early sequence, 2 and 13 need to see each other on a deep ball. And if I'm Woodford County, I'm tackling anybody who gets behind the defense.
Well, Woodford they're playing a 4 deep, but they're still within 8 yards. And here's Denmeyer behind. Oh, my goodness gracious. Denmeyer ran past Zion Brown, was 5 yards behind the defender. Anderson puts it where it had to be thrown, and it falls incomplete.
Now that's the 3rd time tonight I've seen a defender watch Denmeyer run by him and do nothing, and that one was perfectly thrown. That's just a drop.
Yep.
That didn't get you all the way back, but it put you back close enough. But now,
well, and you think Coach Johnson is unhappy? The safety that was in coverage is no longer on the field. And Anderson this time under some pressure, he's running for his life, and he will run into a defender and be dropped. And Pulaski is forced to call their 2nd timeout. 1:45 remaining, trailing by 9, and a big opportunity there.
Yeah. Well, earlier you had Idlewind made a 1 in 100 catch down here, the one he took away for the touchdown. That is a 99 out of 100 catch, and that one he didn't come away with. And, you know, ifs and buts were candy and nuts. We'd all have a Merry Christmas. You and I next week will be where?
We're on the road next week.
On the road again?
Where are we next week? I'll tell you in just 1 second.
I'm going to say South Laurel.
I'm going to tell you that you are correct as we travel across 75, and we'll take on the former Pulaski County head coach. 7:30 kickoff next Friday. We'll bring it to you again here on 12:00 Somerset, Lake Cumberland Sports. Anderson rolls out to his right. He's looking. He finds a man. That's Toby Wright. And he's across the 40 to the 43-yard line. So that's a gain of 23 on 2nd down. And another 1st down. They stop the clock just long enough to get the chains moved, and then they wind it again. Anderson's in a hurry. Rolls out to his left. He's got Idlewind in the middle of the field. He's looking down the field, and it gets knocked down and falls incomplete. Idlewind is standing at the 45-yard line, and there's not a white jersey within 20 yards of him. But that's easy for me to say and see up here when you've got a quarterback running for his life and trying to make a big play. So,
who had the catch prior to that?
That was Toby Wright, number 15.
Right, thank you. Correct, right.
Not Paul Wright, but Toby Wright.
He's here.
He is here. So 2nd and 10, ball at the 43-yard line. 1:23 remaining in this one. Maroons down 9. Brock goes out of the backfield, and we've got a delay of game.
Dead ball.
So in the grand scheme of things, yeah, you lose 5 yards, but...
Yeah, the grand scheme of things, that's not all that important. But, again, if you can explain to me Woodford County's defense, after we go off the air, I'm going to let you explain some stuff to me.
But we should be in a 2-minute hurry-up offense, and now
Pulaski moved.
Woodford jumped across. They're pointing, and they are going to get the false start. So now you back up 5 more yards.
Again, I know this is their base defense, but they're giving me a chance to ask. Count the number of people within 7 yards of the line of scrimmage.
Well, the crazy thing to me, Mike, is when they started out, they had 4. They were playing a 4 deep coverage and allowed Denmark to run right past them. And here is a pass that Anderson just ran back and chucked. He was looking for Wilden, and Wilden got behind the defender but did not see the ball.
Again.
So here's my blueprint on how to beat Woodford County. You take away the big play. Now, they have athletes that they can throw the ball underneath, obviously, and hurt you. But I'm taking away the big pass D, and I'm gonna throw the ball over the top.
There you go.
Anderson rolls out to his right, and he throws a strike to, is that Toby Wright again? That is. Toby will get all of the penalty yards back plus 2, and will make it 4th and, well, they're going to give him more than that. They're going to give him about 14, but still it's 4th down. Anderson still in a hurry. He throws it up. He's got Denmeyer down there, tries to make another spectacular catch, and this time cannot bring it in, and that will bring us close to the end. 50 seconds remaining.
We're under a minute. Pulaski's got 1 timeout remaining.
Right.
If Woodford County chooses to, and I would think they would, they can take a knee, and if Pulaski uses their timeout, they can take another knee.
And the game will be over.
And we will be
they'd have to snap it
three
times. Right.
But there is no reason to win. They're going to put a man back in what I call protection.
Yeah. This is the shotgun victory formation. Where you don't take a snap from under center.
You don't see that very often.
Right, and so he is going to take a knee, and that will be the first kneel down, and Coach Burns is not going to – well, he is going to call a timeout, Mike. I just sit there and said that he was going to let it go, but –
the only reason I call a timeout is to talk to my football team right here, is to point at the scoreboard and say, here's what it takes. That's where we're at.
Right.
This one's theirs. We've got to regroup, and that'd be the only reason. You can't, this is a motivational timeout.
Right. And, again, I know I'm not a moral victory guy. Coach Burns is not a moral victory guy, but you've played 2 games that you have lost this year that you were in both those ball games. The first one, you were leading.
Yes. You got beat at the very end.
Beechwood, and took a phenomenal drive by the Tigers to win that ball game. This one you played from behind all game.
You were down
long,
14-0 before we had a hiccup.
But you did not give up the fight. So I'm proud of the young men for the way that they did compete. That means a lot. But that will be the second kneel down, no timeout, so the clock will continue to run. We'll have 1 more of those, and that will bring us to the conclusion of this game. Homecoming 2024 from Pulaski County High School. Woodford County Yellow Jackets come in and spoil the party, and they will win this one 31-22 and move to 5-0 on the season. The Maroons will even their record at 500 and go to 2-2 on the season. They will travel to South Laurel next weekend, where they will open up district play, and around the state it will be district play. So things become a little more important at that point. So final score on this one, 31-22. We're going to step out for just a second. Mike's going to get some stats together. I'll give you a rundown, a scoring rundown, and we will give out some hardware. We have our Somerset Community College Offensive Player of the Game, United Cumberland Bank Defensive Player of the Game, and our Promo Lawn Service Lineman of the Game on our Alton Blakely post-game show right after this.
Toyota of Somerset, we're known for great service before and after the sale, and so much more. Since 1988, Toyota of Somerset has been supporting our local communities. And we sell and service what a number of different rating services call the most fuel-efficient, dependable, and safe vehicles on the road. Toyota. Toyota of Somerset, South Highway 27 Somerset, and online at toyotaofsomerset.com. At Toyota of Somerset, we're all about you.
Here to come in 17500, here to come in 175.2. I 200 town down and here to come in a quarter.
Like successful sports programs, putting together a successful auction takes a lot of planning, organization, attention to detail, and teamwork. And you need dedicated and committed people pulling together. At Ford Brothers Auctioneers, we've been successfully selling the country since 1965. Ford Brothers Auctioneers. Give us a call or visit us online at FordBrothersInc.com.
Ford Brothers Auctioneers, we're selling the country.
Let us show you the strength that comes by making every moment count. We're here to help. Hospice of Lake Cumberland. Let us show you the strength that comes by making every moment count. We're here to help. Hospice of Lake
Best
Cumberland.
things in life never change. They just get better, like Hardee's Original Bag. Back and better than ever. Just $5.99. Mix and match any two full-size favorites. A juicy charbroiled double cheeseburger, melty hot ham and cheese sandwich, or crispy hand-breaded chicken tender wrap. Any two plus fries and a drink, all just $5.99. Hardee's Original Bag. Loaded with handcrafted goodness. It's the greatest meal deal for your buck.
And welcome back to Pulaski High School, as both teams have went through the handshake line, and Woodford County will look to head back to Versailles with a 5-0 record going into district play. Pulaski will move to 2-2 on the season, and in what was a entertaining, looked like it was going to be just a absolute track meet. They're going to light up the scoreboard. Slowed down, but to give you a scoring rundown, Woodford County would open the scoring just 59 seconds into the first quarter. Jalen Johnson would take a Wurtzler pass 23 yards to the end zone. Ford would add on the extra point and would jump out 7-0. 2.5 minutes after that, Wurtzler would find Omari Joyner for a big 76-yard pitch and catch. After the Ford extra point, the Maroons would find themselves down 14-0 very quickly. But Cason Brock, on the very first play of Pulaski's next possession, would take it up the middle, make one cut, race to the end zone, 57 yards, and cut the lead in half, 14-7. Woodford County would strike again in the second quarter. Amari Johnson again, his second touchdown of the night, this time of the 30-yard variety from Wurtzler, and the Yellow Jackets would extend their lead back to 14-21-7. Pulaski County would take the opening kickoff in the third quarter, drive down the field, and Harris Denmeyer would go up and over the defender for a 26-yard, one of those type of catches that you just go, wow. After the Mount extra point would cut the lead to 21-14. Woodford would come right back in the fourth quarter. Again, quick strike offense. This time the quarterback would keep it himself, as Wurtzler would take it in from 8 yards out and extend the lead out to 14 yet again at 28-14. Woodford would tack on a field goal at the 5:12 mark, 21-yarder by Logan Ford to make it 31-14. Pulaski would not go away as Kason Brock would take it in from 2 yards out and add the 2-point conversion himself and cut the lead to 9 to 31-22 at the 4:09 mark. But that would be all of the scoring in this one, and that is your final from Pulaski High School here tonight.
Give you some numbers to work with here while you're thinking about players of the game and all that other good stuff. For the winning, lost my memory on the Yellow Jackets, the Woodford County Yellow Jackets. 18 first downs on the game. They rushed the ball 26 times for 108 yards. That does include sacks, by the way. Passing through the air, went Wertzler 18 of 26 for 267. 52 offensive snaps for 375 total yards. Only other thing that jumps out at me, no turnovers and 12 penalties for 100 yards. For Pulaski County, 17 first downs in the game, 11 of those coming in the second half, and 7 of those coming on the opening drive of the second half or the third quarter. Pulaski County, 6 of 20 through the air was Anderson for 152 yards. They rushed the ball 44 times for 202 yards, 64 offensive snaps, 354 yards. They were penalized 7 times for 75 yards, the only turnover of the game. A Pulaski County fumble. I'll go ahead and give you some quick individuals as we get ready. But for Woodford County, leading rusher in the game, 11 carries, 61. Crow had 11 carries for 61 yards. Not much else on the ground. 26 yards for Wertzler, and he suffered about 20 yards of sacks. So that pretty much was the ground game. Johnson, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns, 53 yards. Smith, 5 catches for 37 yards. Crow, 3 catches for 25 yards. Joyner, 6 catches for a 154 and a touchdown. Taylor, 2 catches for 19. Hodge, 1 for 2. And once again, Winsler, 18 of 26, by my count, 267 through the air. For Pulaski County, a huge night for Brock as he rushed the ball 6 times for 165 yards.
How many times did he rush it for?
26 carries for $164.
Yeah.
What'd I say?
6 times.
I think he carried it more than 6 times.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. Out of one, 3 for 14. Ford had 7 carries for 16 yards, and Anderson 8 carries, net the losses from a couple of sacks. 8 carries, 7 yards. Denmeyer, as partner gave you, had 3 catches, 1 for a 26-yard circus touchdown. He had 3 catches for 91 yards. Idlewind 1 for 24, and Wright had 2 catches late for 37 yards. That's pretty well going to give you a numbers recap of where we are. And again, Pulaski County's going to fall to 2-2. Woodford County's going to advance to 5-0 on the season. Other scores right now, the last I heard, Somerset got beat. Did I hear that correct? Southwestern won, and Pulaski loses here. So those are the scores that we have right now. Maybe a couple more during the post game, but I don't know. Partner,
yes,
you
sir.
ready to give out some famous people awards?
I am. I think it's going to be pretty easy, unless you have a difference of opinion. Our Somerset Community College Offensive Player of the Game, I mean, how do you not give it to the sophomore running back? 26 carries for how many yards?
164
164 with a touchdown, a 2-point conversion. I mean, he was the workhorse back all night long. So, Kason Brock, our Somerset Community College Player of the Game. Agree?
Oh, without a doubt, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty easy. United Cumberland Bank Defensive Player of the Game. After we finally figured out his number.
Had a big night.
Big night by number 44, Colton Kane. He was in on a lot of tackles. He created a lot of havoc. So our United Cumberland Bank Defensive Player of the Game, Colton Kane.
I'm okay with that.
And then our Promo Lawn Service Lineman of the Game. I know, again, that I can't give it to all of them, but I want to call all of them out individually, and then I'll give you who I think. Brady Hull at left tackle, Connor Blevins at left guard, Mason Hall at center, Bryson Brown at right guard, and Camden Denham at right tackle. Those 5 young men were able to allow Brock to have 26 carries for 160 yards.
Wherever you are, if a running back has 160 yards on a night, he had an offensive line doing work. I mean, that's just business.
And when I looked out there on the field and I watched them, what they did, there was numerous times I look and big number 71, Brady Hull over there with a couple of pancake blocks, driving some guys off. So I'm going with the sophomore Brady Hull for our promo lawn service lineman of the game.
Yeah, I agree. And he could, like I said, he's a humble young man, but he's a beast on the football field. Not sure what's going on out Highway 39 right now.
Not good.
We just saw about 6 police vehicles and 3 ambulances heading out 39 away from Somerset. So, obviously, if you're in the parking lot listening to the wrap-up of this game, I would avoid that area if at all possible, and Godspeed. Let's hope nothing really bad has gone on out there. All right, partner. It was a fun night. It was 2 good football teams. But on this night, Woodford County is a better football team.
You're right. And this was the Alton Blakely post-game show. If you'll stick around after we get things kind of cleaned up and taken care of, here in about 15 minutes or so, we're going to try to track down Coach Burns and do a coach's interview with him. Other than that, Mike and I will go over to Laurel County next week, where we will bring you the Maroons and the Cardinals.
That game's got all kinds of twists and turns, and I'm not going to go real deep into them, but Coach Burns played at South Laurel. Coach Hines coached here for 25-plus years. They will meet each other at South Laurel next week, and that in and of itself is enough. But, again, it's a district football game, and, Pulaski County looking to go 1-0 in the district, they will have to suit it up and go across the road and try to get a win in London.
That's right. So for Mike Kerr, I'm Chris Staten. We appreciate all of you sticking with us and listening to the game. We appreciate all of our sponsors that make it possible to do this. So for everybody, we want to thank Matt Lloyd, Kevin Lloyd, Jeremiah Jones on bringing you the game production-wise and keeping Mike and I in line. For everybody here at Lake Cumberland Sports, good night.
Toyota of Somerset, we're known for great service before and after the sale and so much more. Since 1988, Toyota of Somerset has been supporting our local communities. And we sell and service what a number of different rating services call the most fuel-efficient, dependable, and safe vehicles on the road. Toyota. Toyota of Somerset, South Highway 27 Somerset, and online at toyotaofsomerset.com. At Toyota of Somerset, we're all about you.
Here to come in 17500, here to come in 175.2. I-200 town, down again, here to come in a quarter.
Like successful sports programs, putting together a successful auction takes a lot of planning, organization, attention to detail, and teamwork. And you need dedicated and